Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM1310 WDPN.
Get into the puck. Boldy looking to push through. Back Boldy to the net. He scores! On the net. And it's Werenski. Now Jack Hughes hooks it around the car. United States with numbers. Back across it comes. Jack Hughes wins it. The golden goal for the United States. For the first time since the 1980 miracle, the United States takes the gold.
Good as the Cavs, it's been down double digits 14 times.
Allen the stuff, and the Cavs with their first lead of the day.
Go ahead.
The Buckeyes in mid-January, saved by Tilly, shot clock at 6, works inside, the bump, the prime, the spin, the deuce.
And this is what Ohio State needs, some of these...
They could have used a lot more than that as the Buckeyes fell yesterday. But, hey, you know what? The USA hockey team got the gold. And I'll tell you what, I was good with whatever happened yesterday after that was over. How about you? Welcome in, everybody, the Sam Bourquin Show. We are rolling AM 1310 WDPN live on a Monday. Old Man Winter has returned. I know it was tough sledding this morning. It's pretty decent out there right now, but wow. Winter came back with a big old fist to the face late last night into this morning. Hopefully everybody got to where they needed to go, and we're rocking and rolling. Welcome in, everybody. 1310 WDPN. Sam Bourquin here, Ryan Rainsberg on the other side of the glass. Phone lines are open, 330-821-1310, 330-821-1310. You can also check us out on the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. We got the chat open today, as we always do, Monday through Friday, between 3 and 6 p.m. What a weekend. What a weekend. Like, Rainsberg, does it feel like you just got out of that seat, like, Friday at 6 o'clock?
Oh, I got to be honest, man. I had a pretty dense weekend, so not as much as you probably.
Whoops. Yeah, there are just some weekends where you feel like you just left. And like, here we are. It goes that fast. With the Winter Olympics this weekend, high school basketball this weekend, it just flew. And I don't know, it just flew. I don't know. But crazy day yesterday. Got the gold. You heard the highlights in our open montage here today. That was pretty awesome. And we're going to tie that in with our Sam Bourquin Show poll question of the day coming up here in a couple of minutes. But that was really awesome. You know, the first thought I had was going back to 1980 when the U.S. beat the Soviet Union and then won the gold medal. Obviously, times have changed. Technology has changed. And most of us did not get to see either one of those games live. We had to kind of find out how we found out. And the fact that it was at Lake Placid, and it just made it like it was the true David versus Goliath. It really was. We didn't have NHL players for us back then. Soviet Union had professionals going. We were a young team. Herb Brooks was the guy. And we heard of some of our players, Mike Eruzione, Jimmy Craig, and others. But we didn't really think we had a chance. We really didn't think we had a chance to win a gold medal. And we did. And all these years later, 46 to be exact, and to win the gold, to watch it happen live on live TV, it was really cool. And it was weird that Like, I can't remember the last time I watched a hockey game at 8 o'clock in the morning. Probably never. So it was a little weird that by 10:20, 10:30 a.m., like it was all done and over. The game was over. We got the gold, and everybody got their medals, and they rose the flags up to the top, and we got to hear the Star Spangled Banner, which was really cool, and the really awesome stuff they did with Johnny from the Columbus Blue Jackets, who tragically passed away, and had his kids out there on the ice, and kind of, if you're watching on the stream, they kind of had his jersey. They were kind of draping it around, and it was a really cool moment. It really was, and which is neat because sometimes you don't know if you're going to experience those kind of emotions during a sporting event, maybe like you used to or like you wish you could. But yesterday kind of hit. It was really nice. I thought it was a great sequence of events from 8 a.m. until when that game was over. And then the great closeout by Mike Tirico from NBC Sports, which we're going to play for you here in a little bit as well. Good Olympics. You know what? Great Olympic Games. Great Olympics. I thought the folks in Milan did a great job. I thought NBC did a great job. That was our medal count. I think we ended up with 33 medals. Yes, Norway had 41 total. U.S. had 33. Italy 30. Germany 26. And Japan had 24. That's as far as I'm going to go down there. But we got 12 gold. We had 12 silver and 9 bronze for a total of 32. But we got the gold in hockey yesterday. Sam Bourquin Show, poll question of the day. Where were you yesterday? Where were you yesterday when the U.S. hockey team scored the game-winning goal to beat Canada for the gold medal? Where were you when it happened? I got a lot of really neat responses in so far. And I guess I kind of forgot how many people were actually in church. Which makes sense, right? Sunday morning. A lot of people were at Mass while this was going on. And I wonder if anybody was, kind of watching on their phone or had a little earbud in, right, during the Mass. I think Father would be okay with that. But my question is, you can give us your answers on AM1310 WDPN X page. You can put them on my Facebook page. You can also tap in on the Q92 Radio YouTube channel and let us know where you were when the goal was scored. Where'd you watch the game yesterday? But more importantly, where were you when the puck went in the back of the net? In overtime, and Team USA beat Team Canada 2-1 to take the gold medal at the Winter Olympics. Where were you yesterday? If you want to call in, that's cool too. 330-821-1310. I was at home, and as soon as I got up, I turned the TV on a little bit after 8, and I pretty much stayed. I stayed in the one room I was in, and I don't think I got up maybe twice the whole time. Because remember, NBC presented this game with no commercials yesterday. So there wasn't a whole lot of stopping going on outside of, in between the periods. And then after the third period, they're getting ready for the overtime. So that was cool. Overall, I thought the Olympics were fantastic. Where we go now in, let's see, 28, the Summer Games will be in Los Angeles. Okay. So the Winter Games, doggone it, I forget where the Winter Games are going to be in 2030. But give all of our athletes, plenty of time to get ready, set the bar high, set their dreams high, practice, and then get ready to go. But awfully proud of everybody. I thought the U.S. did a great job, and I thought everybody, the host city, I thought they put on a great show. No issues, no political crap. Just great sports, great passion, great love people had for their country, whoever they were representing. I thought it was really cool. So we get the gold. we're on, hey, it's going to be a great day. We got the gold. Then the Cavs come on. And they go down like 28-5. And I'm thinking, here we go. And I said, wait a minute now. No Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Oklahoma City was also without another starter. Thinking, how are they doing this? Were we not ready to go? What's the problem here? And eventually, the Cavs turned it around, actually took a lead in the second half, and then for whatever reason, hit a wall. And that was it. So I was a little perplexed on Coach Atkinson's substitution pattern yesterday, and we'll hear from him as well. We're going to play a little bit of his press conference coming up for you. I thought it was just a little weird. But I was a little discouraged because Oak City, without two of their big players, still handled us. And we were pretty much full go yesterday. Except for Max Strus, but who knows about that. But I was a little alarmed yesterday. You know what I saw again yesterday? Same thing we saw with the Knicks a couple years ago. Same thing we saw with the Pacers last year. I saw a little softness in the team. Oak City getting second chance rebounds, third chance rebounds, getting loose balls, getting tipped balls up in the air. We never were able to come out of there with the ball. Chet Holmgren was coming out of there with the ball. We just couldn't. I don't know if maybe the noon start screwed the Cavs up. I don't know. It just seemed like we were in quicksand a little bit yesterday. Again, the loose balls, the physicality, the rebounding, especially on the strong side. I was a little discouraged with that. But, hey, we're in the middle of a real tough 5 out of 7 here. So we'll hear from Kenny Atkinson coming up a little bit. We'll check out the Cavs schedule the rest of the week. Pistons are coming up. Got some big games coming up. So we'll check that out.
Sean on YouTube is of the opinion that early afternoon NBA games are stupid.
Hey, you know what? And look, if anybody that puts anything on YouTube today, Rainsburg, just go ahead and fire it in because I do not have access to that today.
Yep.
And that's kind of my fault with the phone.
Well, we had then real quick, we had Dong Bobbler chime in at the beginning. Says Sammy, as someone who played hockey through high school, I'm biased, but USA hockey might be the thing that needs to happen to pull this country together.
Hey, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. Yeah, the early start, and again, if you're in Oak City, that was a nooner yesterday because of the hour time difference. I used to love the NBA on Sunday afternoons when they played at 1. Or no, way back in the day. Boy, I'm showing the age now. The national Sunday games would tip at 1:45. And then if they would have a doubleheader game, they would put them on at 4. So it was like 1:45 and 4 o'clock on Sunday. And then years and decades would go by, and they would go to like 1 and 3:30, or they would go 2 and 5:30. They would switch things around. Now with the new television contract, they went 1, 3:30 on ABC, and then NBC they switched over, and it was 6 or 6:30. But yeah, I'm not. Gosh, I hate to give into the primetime window thing, but yeah, early Sunday afternoon games are a little. I don't know, they're a little rough. I would imagine for the players, I don't know about, people watching. Like I like a 3:30 game on a Sunday or maybe a 4 or a 6. 1 o'clock is a little tough. Of course, the Buckeyes played at 1-2 against Michigan State. They fell 66-60. They did not play well. Michigan State did not play well. And we'll hear from Tom Izzo coming up too. That game should have been had. That game should have been had yesterday for Ohio State. And they didn't do what they needed to do.
We have a text from Buck about that. He says, Diebler is garbage. Ohio State hasn't had a real basketball coach since Gary Williams.
Gary Williams. He was pretty good. Jim O'Brien was pretty good. Randy Ayers, Eldon Miller, Thad Matta, oh, yeah. That's our guy. Yeah, Jake Diebler, I think, boy, I don't know. If they make you know what? Even if they make the tournament, I don't know that his job is 100% safe. Right now, I don't think they're making the tournament. You got to play Iowa yet on the road. You've got Purdue at home. You've got Indiana. You've got another guy. I don't know if Ohio State's going to make it. I really don't. We'll see. OAC tournament brackets are set. We'll tell you who Mount Union could be playing and when. Finally, all the high school brackets are in for divisions 1 through 7. We'll go through those. Lee Foster, my good friends, coming up at 3:35 at courtside. Sammy B and Lee will tell you about the brackets. We'll run down our all-county team as well and let you know what's going on there. The Guardian signed Reese Hoskins to a minor league deal. Yep, that's as good as it's going to get. We got On This Day in Sports History, plus our poll question of the day, and we'll get into some other stuff as well, including Ohio State and defensive coordinator Matt Patricia. Looks like they have come to terms on a new deal. He will stay with the Scarlet and Gray. Lots of stuff coming up today. Phone lines open, 330-821-1310. You can text us as well, 330-924-7088, and get your comments in right now on the Q92 Radio YouTube channel on our chat, and we'll work those into the show all the way through 6 o'clock tonight. We'll step out. We'll come back with more. 1310 WDPN.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-498-2098 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as 1 day. Just dial 1-800-498-2098 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-498-2098 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
We are the keepers of the wild, America's original and most invested conservationists. For more than 80 years, we've been committed to conserving wildlife and the natural landscapes that define our nation. From rugged alpine ridgelines to peaceful tall grass prairies, we've supported the conservation of more than 36 million acres of American wildlands. Our funding has led to cleaner water, fresher air, and improved wildlife habitat. From abundant fish and waterfowl populations to robust deer and elk herds, nothing is more important than maintaining wild spaces for adventurers to explore and wildlife to thrive. We are America's hunters and target shooters, stewards of the American outdoors.
America's hunters and target shooters, along with firearm, ammunition, and archery manufacturers, have invested more than $46 billion to help state fish and wildlife agencies manage and protect wildlife and wildlands across America. For more information, visit OutdoorStewards.org.
Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN. Just getting cranked up here on a Monday afternoon. Phone lines are open, 330-821-1310, 330-821-1310. You ever have a day when every time you try to put papers on a ledge, they curl up at the top and the bottom, and they just fall all over the damn studio.
You know, I wouldn't think that's a normal problem for most people, but I think people in our neck of the woods probably more common.
Come on. Sam Bourquin Show poll question of the day. Where were you when the USA hockey team scored the game-winning goal yesterday to beat Canada for the gold medal? Where were you? Get those comments in. Carl says he was at work yesterday. George says, Sammy, I was at church. Timothy, sitting in my living room with my 2 grandbabies, calming them down as I turned the channel from K-pop Demon Hunters to the start of the overtime.
No wonder they were screaming.
Excuse me. Oh, that's funny. Bill says, sitting in front of the fireplace and TV, it was a thriller from start to finish.
See, I have Rick on Facebook says, in the living room, drinking coffee, sitting in the recliner.
There you go. Good way to do it.
Good way to start the day.
George Davis says he was at St. James in Waynesburg. Mark says, in my living room, watching in Kansas City. Don says, I was in Dublin, Ohio for the hockey playoffs. Go Jets.
Mick on YouTube simply says, home.
Home. How about this one? Betty checking in. Sammy, I was at the beach.
Rubbing it in, Betty.
Go, Betty. John says he was in church. Penny, home watching. Pam, home in the living room. Patty, at church. Mark says, at work. Ha ha. Kevin Davis, right here in the USA Man Cave. You should have come over. Now you tell me. Now you tell me. Oh, God. Russ says, I was at First Christian Church in Malvern, but I had updates coming my way, if you know what I mean. Steve says, right in front of his TV. Maria says, front and center, glued to the TV in my living room. American flag, smiley face. Go USA. All right, keep those comments coming in. You can also text us 330-924-7088. Where were you for the gold medal game yesterday? What was it like? How'd you feel? Watching it with anybody? Were you at church? When did you not find out until you got out of church, maybe? Where were you during the gold medal game, and what were you doing when the game winner went in to the back of the net? Pretty awesome stuff right there. All right, news and weather coming up on the other side. From courtside with Sammy B and Lee, my partner, Lee Foster. We'll break down the high school basketball weekend. We will take a look at the brackets and tell you about our courtside all-county team as well. It's all coming up here after the break, 1310 WDPN.
Here's the latest news on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 3:30. Man killed by Secret Service agents Sunday while attempting to breach Mar-a-Lago in Florida had an apparent obsession with the release of files pertaining to Jeffrey Epstein. 2 agents and a deputy from the Palm Beach Sheriff's Office confronted 21-year-old Austin Martin, who was armed with a shotgun and a gas can. The text between Martin and a coworker from February 15th indicated a belief there was a cover-up about Epstein. While Democrats have sought to tar the president over his past friendship with the financier, attorney Bradley Edwards, who represented some of Epstein's victims, described Trump in a 2018 video as someone who aided his efforts. Police in Florida last week said Trump contacted them about investigating Epstein and called the financier's companion, Ghislaine Maxwell, an evil person. Mexican military reportedly killed the leader of one of the Western Hemisphere's most dangerous drug trafficking organizations, setting off violent retaliation across multiple states. Federal forces killed Nemesio Cervantes, known as El Mencho, head of the Jalisco New Generation Cartel. Trump administration designated the cartel as a foreign terrorist organization in February of last year. Federal authorities offered up to $15 million for information leading to his capture. The group traffics fentanyl and engages in extortion, migrant smuggling, and weapons trade across nearly every region of Mexico. Washington asked U.S. citizens there to shelter in place until further notice. Air traffic at a standstill across much of the northeastern U.S. as a powerful storm brings snow and strong winds. As of around 9:30 this morning, nearly 5,500 flights in or out of the U.S. were canceled, according to online tracker Flight Aware. Hundreds of others were delayed. The National Weather Service called travel conditions extremely treacherous and nearly impossible. The New York City Department of Sanitation's website features a page where residents can apply to become paid emergency snow shovelers as the winter storm was bearing down on the area. However, the page said applicants must present 2 photos, 2 original forms of ID plus copies, and their social security card. New York Post reported Saturday new Mayor Zoran Mondani is opposed to requiring people to show identification when voting. The Post article read the mayor is a member of the New York chapter of the Democratic Socialists of America, which vehemently opposes voter ID law, the SAVE Act, deeming it racist. New York City Board of Elections does not require most registered voters to use an ID. Federal judge has permanently barred the release of a report by special counsel Jack Smith on his investigation into President Trump's classified documents at his Mar-a-Lago estate. U.S. District Judge Eileen Cannon granted a request from the president to keep under wraps the report detailing Smith's findings in the probe that resulted in criminal charges in 2023. The case was dismissed the following year after concluding Smith was unlawfully appointed. 25 degrees at 3:33 for WDPN News. I'm Clint Marshall.
Now, the Alliance Area Weather Forecast from Mark Johnson on AM 1310 WDPN.
A little bit of light snow for you Monday afternoon. Our high a blustery 31 degrees. Overnight snow ending early. Cloudy skies for the most part. Our low 16 degrees. Wow, that's cold. I am Mark J. Weather from 3 News.
$13.10 WDPN. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show. Phone lines are open, 330-821-1310, 330-821-1310. You can also leave your comments on the Q92 Radio YouTube chat. We get a lot of those that are rolling in. Poll question of the day: where were you when the U.S. beat Canada yesterday for the gold medal in men's hockey? Where were you yesterday? I think yesterday would be one of those sequences where you'll always remember kind of where you are, where you were, like big moments that happened in our lifetime, and it does not necessarily have to be sports by any stretch of the imagination. A lot of the times it is. But I would say yesterday would be one of those days where 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, you will remember where you were when the U.S. beat Canada for the gold medal in the Olympics. I think you'll remember where you were. So that's our poll question of the day. We got a lot of stuff to get to today. OAC brackets are out for college basketball as far as the OAC tournament that begins tomorrow. Mount is scheduled to play Thursday night at 7. High school tournament brackets are out. Lee and I are going to get into that coming up. Guardian signed Reese Hoskins to a minor league deal. Also, the Buckeyes and Matt Patricia going to be together, it looks like, for the foreseeable future, as it looks like they've come to a contract, as Patricia will stick around in Columbus and be the Buckeyes defensive coordinator. Our new league in 2028, we were talking about this the last several days with Minerva and Carrollton and Fairless. It's going to be called the Northeast Senate League. They made that announcement earlier today. And the NCAA is looking into penalizing football teams if their players don't wear their football pants correctly. And I like it. Some of these football players look just incredibly ridiculous. Looks like they're wearing shorts out there. So the NCAA says, all right, we're going to put a stop to that. We're going to penalize you if you do that. So we'll get into that too. Coming up right now, let's talk a little high school basketball. We usually do this on Tuesday and or Friday, but no hoops tomorrow night, a little respite for us. And so we thought we'd talk a little high school hoops today, especially because the brackets and everything came out yesterday. My man, Lee Foster, courtside, Sammy B and Lee, Q92 Sports, joining us on the program today to kind of talk a little high school hoops here on this Monday. Shooter, what's going on?
Partner, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good. Been a while. Couple of days.
What's the snow doing outside?
Ooh, how'd you like that waking up to that this morning?
Brutal.
I went to bed last night. It was 1-ish, 1:15, and I thought, ooh, this isn't really supposed to be covering the ground right now. And I woke up again, and I thought, oh, geez, this is brutal. And then I said, well, at least we're not in New York, so I was okay. I'm that guy. So let's wrap up the weekend before we look at the brackets and the tournament draw and stuff like that. Anything kind of stick out to you from the games on mostly Friday? There was a couple Saturday, but really Friday. We, of course, did the Jackson-Louisville game, which turned out to be a pretty compelling game on Friday night. There was Massillon-Glen Oak. What stood out to you Friday around the county?
Yeah, I thought, a couple injury-related things. So I thought that Gio Jackson not playing for Massillon is obviously massive. So being down there, big guy, probably hurt a little bit. But Glen Oak gave it a great effort, only lost by 6. And, Louisville, we hadn't really seen them, we mentioned, since the first game of the year. So they looked much improved, even without Balcom, who has to sit the second half of the year. But then Jackson was down their point guard. Chase Maurer didn't play, so I thought that really affected the way that they were, just effective offensively. So we got to see a good one, and I went over Saturday and watched Hoover and Hoban over in North Canton, and that was a great game. Hoover down 3, Hirschberger hit the 3 at the buzzer to go to overtime, and then he laid one in with about 4 seconds to go. They lifted Hoover to a 1-point victory over Hoban, who beat McKinley earlier in the season.
Right. Yeah. Beat them pretty good up there. Again, that was a while ago, but still they kind of clamped down on the Dogs that night. And I think McKinley they weren't shorthanded yet that night, but they were kind of on the verge of being shorthanded after that game was over for a little bit. But so yeah, big comeback win for Hoover. I thought that was good for them coming off the game against Garfield Heights the other night. Who right now it looks to you like they are ready to take that next step for a tournament run? And we've been talking kind of like the same 4 or 5 teams all year, but it looks to me like there might be only maybe 2 that are ready to take off. Who would that be in your mind?
So if you're thinking the way I am, I think it's North Canton, Hoover, and it's Massillon. I think we've talked all year that the Division II route is obviously one of the easier ones to get there.
Yeah.
Massillon and Hoover, both their first 2 games, Hoover plays 32 CD Lake North, and then Parma Heights, Valley Forge. Both those teams are not very good. And then they're going to get a 12 or 11 seed in the district final, which would be Solon or Painesville Riverside. So I think they've got a really nice path. Green chose to play Massillon instead of Hoover for the 3rd time. Because they were like the 31 seed, so they went in to play Massillon. So I'm curious to see how that plays out. And then whoever wins that plays the winner of 26 seed Boardman or 27 seed Wadsworth. And all those games we're talking about are straight to the district semifinal.
Right. I get
chose to play a sectional final.
Yeah.
Be off so long and not have the break. So
I kind of like that.
Both those teams have a great route. I think the danger, if you're looking out there, is Canton McKinley. They're going to be off 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
And they played a ball game. And Coach DeBevick and crew, the Polar Bears, hop on them to travel to the field house to play them for round 3. So I think that's the danger lurking, and maybe an upset alert if Jackson's playing well, they finish the season strong on a high note, and McKinley's gonna have a long break. So how do they manage that with Coach Boone and company?
Yeah, I got the sheet in front of me here. And we're looking ahead, like obviously the 27th of this week. They're going to be games. Hoover actually plays on Thursday. Looks like February 26th against Akron North. But, McKinley Jackson, March 3rd, Glen Oak Perrysburg, March 3rd, Green Massillon, March 3rd, Perry Twinsburg, March 3rd. And I kind of saw that. I said, Perry's at 21, Twinsburg's at 24. Could this be maybe the start for the Panthers to kick it in gear a little bit? But you mentioned Massillon and the fact that they may not have one of their vital pieces. Who knows? It could be for the whole tournament. Who knows? So, does that set them back, or do you think that they have enough firepower to maybe still get where they want to go?
Yeah, I think they've got more than enough to win those first 2 games and obviously win a district championship. Obviously, once it gets to the regional, you're going to play a really good team at that rate. And in the regional semi, I still think they would be favored if they're at full strength. So I'm hoping for their sake and Coach O's that Geo Jackson gets healthy and he can return to that roster here sooner than later. But I really do think Hoover and Massillon have great opportunities to be in the regionals. And the way it breaks down, they've both got a great shot to potentially get to Dayton.
Did it surprise you that the Bears and McKinley are going to go at it on the third?
I mean, if I'm McKinley, I hate it. If I'm Jackson, I love it. There's not a great option to go to, and there's only 18 teams in Division I and only so many districts. So they opt to stay close to home. They get to play in a place they're familiar with and have played them at before. And it's hard to beat a team 3 times, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you're Coach Debevic, it's an easy sell on that staff to say, hey, we've got nothing to lose. We're not supposed to win this game, right? So you can play free. And if, hey, they have the capability to go make 15 threes and beat anybody. If I was McKinley, I wouldn't be excited to have to play Jackson in the first round.
Let's go down to D3. Alliance will play Firestone. That's a 1 seed versus a 47. I don't think there'll be any drama there. No. Northwest Kenston, Northwest at 20. Kenston is a 5. Mm-hmm. Is that right? Yeah. Louisville Aurora, that's a 29 versus a 35. And then Lake Garfield is a 7-11. But Garfield without their main guy certainly changes how that could turn out, correct?
Yeah, I think I believe it's Northeast 6, so that's got Alliance, that's got Louisville, and that's got Lake in it. I think that the district semi matchup between Louisville and Alliance could be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, neighboring districts really close to one another. I think that game could be pretty interesting. And Lake is kind of my sleeper of the whole tournament in terms of Stark County teams that if Akron Garfield's guys are truly out from what we've heard through the rumor mill, they could wind up in the district final playing Alliance or Louisville.
That'll be interesting. Yeah, you don't know what's 100% true coming out of Akron, but if the one main guy's out, I think they're in trouble anyway. But if you add to that, then they're really going to be in for it.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think that Garfield would have probably handled Lake at full strength, but if I'm Alliance, I'm the 1 seed, and I get to a district championship. I don't know. Do you want to go to Strongville and see Tommy McBride on the other bench? I don't. That's not on anybody's dance card.
No, it is not. Lee Foster, our guest, courtside with Sammy B and Lee. Q92 Sports, talk a little high school hoop here on 1310 WDPN. And then we kind of move down here a little bit. Division 4, West Branch, Canton South, Marlington, Benedictine. And then you've got the East District. You've got Carrollton, Minerva, possibly against the Lisbon winner. Canton Central Catholic is going to open up against Burton Berkshire. This is a 10 versus a 9 on Friday the 27th. And I should let everybody know that's an earlier start. That's a 6 o'clock start on that one. Manchester Northwestern, February 25th. So that's coming up. Jeez.
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Northwestern's really down. Coach Manchester should handle them, but I think it's an interesting setup there too. I think you could see your alma mater and Canton Central Catholic and Manchester in the district final.
And that would be pretty good. Not terribly a lot of miles between both schools, and then that would be at Firestone, correct?
At Firestone.
At Firestone, yeah.
Firestone at 7.
So they got that. Then you go on down a little bit. You got Tusky Valley, Sandy Valley, Fairless all in action, St. Tom. But we and of course Malvern too, in East District 7. But is there a team or two? We've talked about Central a little bit. Is there a smaller division school that could maybe make a little noise right now?
I don't think so. I think when I looked at these and I started looking through them, I broke down Division 1, 2, 3, and 5. Because 5 obviously has got Central. We know Alliance, Lake, and Louisville in 3, Hoover, Massillon, and Perry in 2, and then McKinley and Jackson in 1. So I just kind of stuck there. I don't think Divisions 4, 6, and 7 have anybody there that can make a deep run. But I do think these other 3 all have viable options that they could make at minimal a regional semi to a regional final run.
Should be fun. We will have you covered between AM 1310 WDPN and Q92. As long as we got some local flavor, we'll be going all the way. All right, let's take a look at our courtside with Sammy B and Lee all county teams. that we released yesterday. Honorable mention, first team, second team, coach of the year, player of the year. Let's go with let's just go with our. I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's just run down the teams, and then maybe we'll get into the coach of the year and the player of the year a little bit, and we'll see how we go from there. I'm trying to pull up my.
I got them up.
You got your. I guess I got them too. So if you want to go ahead and roll honorable mention, and then we'll just kind of go from there.
Yeah, so honorable mention, we had, and I'll give names and schools. So Davey Thompson at McKinley, Isaiah Lamp at Massillon, Connor Knoll at Hoover, Chase Maurer at Jackson, Parker Woods at Alliance, Ronan Lang from Canton South, Lance Bukowski at Central, Rowan Hoffey at Minerva, Cameron Evanich at Marlington, Grady Barkley at Malvern, Lucas Dreyer at Lake, Parker Reinhardt at Tuslaw, Noah Harper at Lake Center, and Daryl Owens at Aquinas.
All right, there's our honorable mention. And again, if you missed these, you can look them up at Courtside Sam Lee on Instagram, on X. They're up there. We got the beautiful graphics. You can't miss them. Check those out. Maybe give them a like, a follow, a comment, a share, what have you. That would be pretty cool. Second team, all courtside. I'll do two, and I'll leave you with one. All right?
Perfect.
Okay, here we go. Second team, all courtside. Mason Morris, Jackson. Brady McCann from Hoover, Geo Jackson, Massillon, Ed Webster, Javion Carter from McKinley, Cohen Rogers from Louisville, Sam Hayes Alliance, Jake Bowling, Canton Central Catholic, Carson Lipinski from Northwest, Chase Wolvichuk from Green, and Shooter, you can go ahead and take first team.
Yep, first team all courtside was J.R. Jackson Alliance, Braylon Gamble, Jada Stigpen, and Xavier Williams from Massillon. Caden Loy from Jackson, Hunter Hirschberger from North Cape River, Anthony Chavers and Jamar Keys from McKinley, Isa White at Glenelg, and Nico Martelli, the big man from Perry.
All right. Then our coach of the year and player of the year. And honestly, we didn't have to really overthink this one too much, did we? This was probably the easiest part.
Yeah, I think so. You can go ahead and rip those off.
All right, so our all-courtside coach of the year, Josh Hose from Massillon, and our courtside player of the year from the Alliance Aviators, that, of course, is J.R. Jackson. What a year both coach and player are having for their respectable schools.
Yeah, I mean, it was there was I tried to put a little bio in the description for each one, but this Massillon set a school record with 20 wins. Obviously, they still have a game to go Friday over against Jackson. But 20 victories is crazy. Obviously not in the league. They're independent, a little tougher to probably find games. But he's just done a terrific job, and I think that team is peaking at the right time. And they've been good all year. They lost one game and they lost on a buzzer beater. And mind you, I always tell everybody in early December when those guys just got done playing like 47 games of football. Right, so I don't think they have their basketball legs underneath them yet.
Exactly.
So I think that's a different team if they play again. And then obviously JR leading the county in scoring, just over 19 a game. I thought it was impressive. Coach Chet Harper, want to thank him too. I reached out to him. He said JR's at 1,560 career points, just past Raymar Morgan on the all-time county list. And he's good for second all-time in Alliance history behind only J.J. Kakura, and he's only about 100 points behind him. So if they play 4 or 5 games in the tournament,
he'll get it.
Probably etch his name as number one in the Aviator record book.
Wow. Good for him. He's such a great kid. I was able to talk to J.R. Jackson during football season. Actually had him up to the press box during one of our Friday shows in the fall, and he just couldn't be a nicer kid, and does things the right way. And he knows he wouldn't be where he's at without his teammates on the football gridiron or the basketball court. And I was really kind of pulling for him. And I knew, like, all football season, I kept telling people, "Hey, you think he's good now? Wait till he gets on the basketball court." And he is dynamite. He's the kind of kid that if need be, he can carry you. He can carry you the whole way.
Yeah, and I don't know what will happen in terms of what Stark County does in terms of repository, but I think he could be maybe the first kid ever to win, Stark County Player of the Year in both football and
both sports. Yeah. What does that say? Think about that for a minute. I mean, wow.
Well, not only the crazy passing and rushing numbers and the touchdowns. I mean, he also played defense and was one of the top guys in the county in interceptions.
Right, and he held for extra points and field goal. He did everything.
He missed everything. Didn't come off.
No, he didn't
do what he's done, and he's been doing this in hoops for 4 years.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, he's 4-year starter. I mean, and credit to him for being able to stay healthy through all this. It's hard especially playing that many games, that many plays, that many, it's a lot on a young kid's body. And he's been able to maintain and stay healthy through this whole thing.
No doubt. Lee Foster, our guest, courtside with Sammy B. and Lee, Q92 Sports, talking a little high school basketball here on this Monday. All right, just for fun. A simple question, but not a simple question. Will we have at least one team in Dayton this year going for a state title?
Yes.
Oh, that was quick. Okay. You must have some inside information.
Maybe not a state title, but to Dayton also means a state semifinal. But I think we get somebody to the Final Four.
Somebody to the Final Four. Okay. I like it. I like it. All right, partner. I'll let you get back to your real work.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll
do that. No, I do want to thank everybody, too, for interacting on social media. I'm counting up just between Instagram and
oh, my gosh.
Facebook.
Yeah.
I mean, 100,000 plus views in, just under 24 hours. So, the interaction's been great. I think the kids are excited, and usually courtside beats everybody to the punch with getting those teams out there early. So a lot of interaction. I think Stark County basketball fans were, parents, players, etc., coaches were excited to see those come out.
No doubt. And they're still up there, and you can check them out. The great graphics, all the teams, honorable mention, first team, second team, player of the year, coach of the year at courtside, Sam Lee. It's also up on the Q92 Sports Facebook page. So make sure you give those a like and a little comment, because I know the kids really love it. And we are more than happy to bring it all to you.
And I do have a little D1 scoop I'll give you before I sign off here. I'm hearing that Star Brunswick guard Trey Drexler is hurt, by the way.
Really?
Something with his wrist. I don't know how bad, but I'm hearing he's hurt and could be out a game or two.
Interesting. All right.
So keep an eye on that for the Bulldogs and potentially the Golden Eagles or Polar Bears trying to make a run through D1.
Interesting. All right, Uncle Leroy, we will we'll talk later on this week, and we'll get ready to head down the old tournament trail.
We're almost there, buddy. See you Friday.
There he goes. Lee Foster at courtside, Sammy B. and Lee, and of course, does a great job on our broadcast on Q92 Sports with yours truly. All right, we're going to take a break. Your thoughts, comments on our little get-together there, 330-821-1310. Stay with us. More to come. Sam Bourquin Show.
Of all the ways to get ahead in life, we're one of them, and we're legal. The John Tesh Radio Show.
I'm John Tesh, and we couldn't be happier about bringing you intelligence for your life every day. We have a room full of researchers gathering the information and ideas you need to make your life simpler and better, and to make you the smartest person in the room.
You're just trying to be better. We're just trying to help. The John Tesh Radio Show.
Join me for music and intelligence for your life, 10 to 3, Monday through Saturday, only on AM 1310 WDPN.
It's intelligence for your life.
We are the keepers of the wild, America's original and most invested conservationists. For more than 80 years, we've been committed to conserving wildlife and the natural landscapes that define our nation. From rugged alpine ridgelines to peaceful tall grass prairies, we've supported the conservation of more than 36 million acres of American wildlands. Our funding has led to cleaner water, fresher air, and improved wildlife habitat. From abundant fish and waterfowl populations to robust deer and elk herds, nothing is more important than maintaining wild spaces for adventurers to explore and wildlife to thrive. We are America's hunters and target shooters, stewards of the American outdoors.
America's hunters and target shooters, along with firearm, ammunition, and archery manufacturers, have invested more than $46 billion to help state fish and wildlife agencies manage and protect wildlife and wildlands across America. For more information, visit outdoorstewards.org.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other, leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, Teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
right, we got about a minute or so before we get you to the top of the hour. Clint Marshall ready to roll in the 1310 WDPN newsroom. We'll get the weather from Mark Johnson and get you all caught up with what's going on in your world. AP Top 25 College Basketball poll hot off the press. Duke is your new number 1 team. Arizona number 2. Michigan 3rd. Iowa State 4th. Houston is 5th. Rest of your top 10, UConn, Florida, Purdue is at 8, Gonzaga 9, Illinois is 10. From the Big Ten, Nebraska 12, Michigan State 13. And that's it as far as the Big Ten is concerned. Miami of Ohio this week comes in at number 21. The Redhawks are still undefeated. They've got 4 games left to go. And then the Mid-American Conference Tournament will get underway. Whew. Anybody getting nervous down there in Oxford? You'd really like to see them run the table in the regular season. To give them, if they go undefeated and they go to the Mid-American Conference Tournament and they win it, yeah, no problem, no issues. They're going to get in. They're probably going to have a pretty decent seed. I saw the other day that maybe the committee would have them at like a number 11 seed right now. And you're talking about a team that will have to go 32, like 34-0, I think they would be. But boy, if they lose in the tournament, I tell you, there's enough backlash right now from the committee. They do not want to put them in. They don't want to put Miami in. We'll see how it goes. Some fascinating college basketball coming up here the next couple of weeks. All right, 4 o'clock, straight up. Let's get you to the news. Let's check in with Clint in the newsroom, and we'll come back on the other side. 1310 WDPN.
News, weather, sports, local information, and music 24 hours a day. This is AM 1310 WDPN Alliance.
ABC News, I'm Mike Dabusky. Whiteout conditions today all the way up the 95 corridor from Philadelphia to New York to Boston. Multiple states have declared states of emergency with up to 2 feet of snow on the ground in some areas. Thousands are without power. In New Jersey, Governor Mikey Sherrill tells WABC-TV that utility crews have been hard at work all day.
Crews are out in force. We have over 5,000 utility workers out now working hard to get people's power restored. Over 100,000 people have already been restored, but there are still a significant number of people without power now. We're working to get to them.
The snow is still coming down in many parts of the Northeast. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum says a greater calm has set in today after violence erupted in the country following the killing of the drug lord known as El Mencho. He was the leader of the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, with cartel members setting fire to cars and businesses yesterday. This is ABC News.
O'Reilly. Protect your vehicle's engine with Syntec and O'Reilly Auto Parts. Syntec Full Synthetic Motor Oil is formulated for today's engines. Right now, get 5 quarts of Syntec Full Synthetic and a MicroGuard Select Oil Filter for just $32.99. Plus, receive 2 times O Rewards points. Limit supply. Choose Syntec exclusively at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with a Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Now, the latest Alliance area news from Clint Marshall on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 4:02. One man is dead following a house fire in Canton. Firefighters returned to the scene today after the heavily damaged home in the 1000 block of 5th Street Southwest could not be fully searched Sunday night. Stark County Coroner's Office identified the victim as Brian Shackelford. Crews are using drones to examine areas too dangerous to access. They're searching for possible additional victims. 3 firefighters were slightly injured. The cause is under investigation. Police also damaged a neighboring building and displaced 10 residents who are being assisted by the Red Cross. The car versus pedestrian crash in Canton left 1 person dead. Police say it happened around 6:15 Sunday night. Westbound car struck a man walking in the 700 block of 17th Street Southeast. He later died at a local hospital. The driver was not hurt. Drugs or alcohol were not suspected for the driver. It's unknown if substances were a factor for the victim. Canton Metro crash team is investigating. Suspect in a double homicide in West Virginia is arrested in Starr County. 27-year-old Cavante White of Akron was picked up Sunday on Grandview Avenue Northeast in Plain Township by U.S. Marshals and Sheriff's deputies. He's awaiting extradition to West Virginia. White was wanted on warrants charging him with 2 counts of murder and malicious wounding. They stem from a Friday shooting in Huntington that killed Adrian Phillips and Darius Johnson and injured a 3rd victim who remains in stable condition. Police say White traveled to Akron after the shooting. Multiple law enforcement agencies helped locate and apprehend him. Authorities in West Virginia arrested 2 people Friday, including a fugitive from Canton. 30-year-old Roland Reddick was located at a home in Chapmanville after allegedly giving false identification to law enforcement. The arrest followed reports of drug activity and people being held in the home against their will. 49-year-old Chad Williams of Chapmanville was also taken into custody. Police seized suspected fentanyl, multiple firearms, and a large sum of cash. Both were transported to the Southwestern Regional Jail. The investigation is continuing. Alliance Police investigating a hit-skip crash that took a man's life Friday night. Shortly after 11, a car driven by 63-year-old Tim Mathis of Alliance was rear-ended by another vehicle and sent into a front yard. Police say Mathis had just turned north from South Union Avenue onto East Summit when the impact occurred. Second vehicle, reportedly driven by a 38-year-old Alliance man, fled the scene. The car was later located at a Garfield Avenue address. Mathis was not wearing a seatbelt. Alcohol is suspected in the crash. House fire near the main entrance of Louisville Elementary School forced the school to close today. Details about the fire are not yet available. The closure affected only Louisville Elementary. All other schools in the district were open as scheduled. A 3-year-old Canton boy died of starvation, and now his adoptive parents are headed to prison. 38-year-old Jamie Thompson of Louisville, 43-year-old Demetrius Gibbons of Akron were sentenced Friday by common pleas judge Kristen Farmer, 8 to 12 years behind bars after they pleaded guilty to involuntary manslaughter and endangering children. Prosecutors say the couple refused to properly feed and care for the child between January 2023 and May 2025. A 2023 traffic stop in Indiana helped uncover a nearly $200,000 theft tied to the Cleveland VA Medical Center. Authorities say more than $29,000 in electronics were found, leading investigators to 41-year-old Dustin Jagger, a Plain Township man who worked at the facility. Prosecutors say he used a government-issued credit card to buy iPhones, iPads, tools, and jewelry between April 2022 and May 2023, keeping some items and selling others online. Jagger was sentenced to a year and a day in federal prison and ordered to pay $198,000 in restitution. He must report to prison by the end of April. DeMarco McKinley of Cleveland, who was found with the stolen items, received a year and a day behind bars. Highway Patrol investigating a Carroll County crash that claimed the life of an 18-year-old woman. Troopers say the accident happened just after 6:30 Friday evening on Azalea Road in Orange Township. Kyra Bunton of New Philadelphia was eastbound when her vehicle crossed the center line, went off the road, hit an embankment, and overturned. Bunton was pronounced dead at the scene. 18-year-old pastor Charity Coolig of Midvale suffered minor injuries. Troopers say Bunton was not wearing a seatbelt and was ejected from the car. The Columbiana County Park Board recommended a new board appointment and hired a part-time administrative assistant. Michael Bates of Lisbon was recommended to fill an unexpired term left by Tom Butch. Pending approval by the county judge, Mark Guy of East Palestine will start today as the Park Board's part-time administrative assistant. Teen is on trial in connection with a fatal shooting at an April 2023 birthday party in Youngstown. 18-year-old Daniel Sellers charged with murder and involuntary manslaughter in the death of 15-year-old Amaya Montserrat. Gunfire broke out in a parking lot on Southern Boulevard. Police say shots were fired from a vehicle. Montserrat, who was not involved in the feud, was struck and killed. Jury selection underway in Mahoning County Common Pleas Court. Sean Peterson previously pleaded guilty and remains in jail. 24 degrees at 4:07. This is the local edition of WDPN News. I'm Clint Marshall.
Here's Mark Johnson's forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
A little bit of lingering snow on and off through your Monday afternoon, just a dusting. It's going to be blustery and cold, a high of 31 degrees. Overnight, more scattered light snow during the evening hours, then clouds. Our low near 16 degrees. I am Mark J. Weather from 3 News.
Live from the AM 1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Getting for the puck. Boldy looking to switch through. Back Boldy to the net. He scores! By the net. And it's Werenski. Now Jack Hughes hooks it around the car. United States with numbers. Watch across it comes. Jack Hughes wins it. The golden goal for the United States. For the first time since the 1980 miracle, the United States takes the gold.
Good as the Cavs, it's been down double digits 14 times.
Now in the stuff, and the Cavs with their first lead of the day.
Go ahead.
The Buckeyes in mid-January, saved by Tilly, shot clock at 6, works inside, the bump, the prime, the spin, the deuce.
And this is what Ohio State needs. Some of these.
Yeah, could have used a little bit more of that. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show, AM 1310 WDPN, our highlight audio there. Of course, the USA hockey team delivering the gold against Canada. Audio courtesy of NBC Sports. Great game. Took the lead. Canada tied it. We got the gold medal. Awesome, awesome, awesome day. Cavaliers fall short to the Thunder. That audio courtesy of ABC Sports. And, of course, the Buckeyes fall to Michigan State. That courtesy of CBS yesterday. So we got the gold medal. Cavs took an L, and the Buckeyes took an L. Welcome into the Sam Bourquin Show, everybody. AM 1310 WDPN. Sam Bourquin here. Ryan Rainsberg on the other side of the glass. Phone lines are open, ready to roll. 330-821-1310. Text line 330-924-7088. If you're watching on the live stream, listening on the live stream today, we surely do appreciate it. If you're looking to find us, 1310 WDPN Facebook page, WDPN X or Twitter page, Q92 Radio YouTube channel. We got the live chat going. So as soon as you get some chats coming in there, we get some comments coming in, we'll fire those up for you here on the air. Good sports weekend. A lot of good stuff. Hoops on Friday and Saturday. Of course, we had the gold medal hockey game yesterday. Our poll question today. Time to put these on. Poll question yesterday, or today, I should say. Where were you when the U.S. hockey team beat Canada yesterday? Where were you when the USA scored the game-winning goal to get the gold medal in the Winter Olympics? Drop those comments on the Q92 Radio chat, 1310 WDPN on X, and, of course, you can put them on either one of my Facebook pages if you wish. Boy, not everybody was at home in front of their TV. Bill says, I was in my bedroom. It's too early. Go USA. Dan says, the same place I was 46 years ago. My parents' living room in Toledo. Maybe I'll have to go there again in 4 years so we can do it again. Steve says, right in front of my TV. Maria, front and center, glued to the television. Walter says, on my couch at home watching. It was an awesome event, just like 1980. This was an exciting game as well. Jerry says, I was in my living room watching with Mom. Pat checking in. Pat Murray in the family room watching a great game and a great win. Jason Allen Murphy says, I was at the Durango Sportsbook in Vegas. He sent a little video in. Good stuff, Jay. Appreciate that. Brian says, I was working. Michael says, I was at work. Sean says, on the couch. Doug in the PTO, sitting on our couch in the Edwards Lodge. Laughing emoji. Steve says, Sam, I was in a plane. Well, that's pretty cool if you could. I mean, if everything was set up, you could watch the game on the airplane. That would be pretty cool. You know what? Come to think about it, that would be really awesome. Can you imagine the plane erupting in cheers after we got the gold medal? That would definitely be a place where I would never forget where I was when the U.S. won the gold medal. I was up in the air in a plane when they got the golden goal. That's pretty awesome. Nathan Milliman checking in says, hey, you'll never guess where I was. Nathan's patio. Sent me a cool video of the crowd reaction. Nate, thank you, sir. Ron says he was at the Cleveland Auto Show. He missed it. Chad says I was in my recliner. Jim says in my living room. Scott says, Sam, I was right in front of the TV about my dog. His dog started yelping because he started screaming so loud when they got the game-winning goal. Melody Midday checking in. Melody, hope you're well. She says, I was at home this year in North Carolina. 46 years ago, I was at home in Ohio. Poll question of the day. Where were you when the USA beat Canada yesterday for the gold medal? 330-821-1310. You can get those comments in on all of our social media platforms.
Our very own Ryan Keller checks in on YouTube, says he was at home sitting on the floor, a nervous wreck watching that game.
Yeah, hey, I'm going to tell you what. I don't know if there are more tense moments in sport than overtime in hockey. I mean, you're talking, look, I know football is exciting in overtime, sudden death, extra innings in baseball, especially when the home team is at bat. Overtime in hockey, there really is nothing like it. And that's coming from a guy who is a baseball, football, basketball guy. I like hockey. I mean, I don't like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not at the top of the list for me, but I do enjoy watching it. But there is nothing better than overtime hockey. And can you imagine for a gold medal? Like, we see what it's like in the Stanley Cup. The Stanley Cup playoffs, maybe the Stanley Cup finals, it goes to a Game 7. Like, you're going out of your mind. But for a gold medal, you know what I mean? USA versus Canada. We haven't done it in 46 years. Whew. Tension, man. Drama. Every pass, you're like, every shot, every save, every whistle is like, it's the biggest. Every movement, every play, every pass, every check is the biggest until the next. It is cinema. High drama cinema. And what a way to start the day. What a way to start your Sunday. I know a lot of people are kind of like, oh man, 8 o'clock in the morning. But, you know, that was a great way to start the day. Probably should have turned the TV off. Probably should have turned the TV off after that game was over. Shouldn't have watched the Cavs or the Bucks. Just turn it off. Gold medal, go on with the day, right? But that was fun. But they were just kind of asking around, where were you when the United States scored that goal yesterday? Let us know, and we'll share it with everybody.
Brian Beatty on Facebook says, in 1980, I was with my dad watching it, and it was great. Sam, I was over at my mom and dad's yesterday morning watching with my dad full circle.
Awesome.
That's amazing.
Good job. Good job, B. Beatty. Glad to have you out there listening and check it in. I will tell you this. In 1980, I was in, 11. How old would I have been? 16. I was 11 years old. I was at a wrestling tournament. Actually wrestling in it. Yeah, me. Wrestling. That was a one and done. But I was in 4th grade. And we had a tournament. This was when I was at St. Michael's. And we had a tournament in Brecksville. It was a weekend tournament, Friday, Saturday thing. And we found out at the gym that the United States had beaten the Soviet Union. Obviously didn't get to see it on live TV. Didn't get to see the gold medal game on live TV. But that's where I was that night. When we beat the Soviet Union, I was in a singlet, for God's sake. Wrestling. Who schedules a wrestling tournament at night on a Friday? And there must have been a million schools at this thing. You know, moms and dads, you know what I'm talking about. You know how these wrestling tournaments go. There's 50 or 60 teams, and they start at like 3 in the afternoon, and they go until midnight. Yeah, it was one of those deals. Holy smokes. But yesterday I was in front of the TV on the recliner. It was cool. It was really, really cool.
Keller asks if you've seen the video of the youth hockey team finding out that the U.S. won the gold while playing hockey. He says it was really cool to see them celebrating with each other in their benches.
No, I did not see that. All I've seen is a lot of people have posted if they were at a bar, and they have posted the reaction of the patrons in the bar when the goal was scored, which is kind of cool. Kind of make you feel like you were there. But I did not see that one. I'll have to look that up. But yeah, 46 years. I guess it didn't. I wasn't thinking about it in years, or like, oh my gosh, it's been X amount of years. It's been so long since. I wasn't really thinking that during the game. I guess I was kind of so locked in, in the present, in the fact that, Canada obviously favored to win. And the fact that it went overtime, you thought, oh gosh, we had the 1-0 lead. They tied it up. You started thinking about momentum shifting the other way. And then you think about your chances are not as good. And then with the overtime, what is it, 3-on-3? Or 4-on-5? I forget already. I mean, it's been not even a day, and I forget how many. But it's like these games, they can end quickly. Like, boom, boom, boom. It's the biscuit's in the basket. It's over. It goes fast. I mean, some of these overtime games, in the NHL, you go 1 overtime, 2 overtime, 3 overtime. They just go and go and go and go. And you're skating, you're going full strength. So this really opened up the room on the ice, and guys could move around and skate freely. And it's a big difference with that as opposed to having everybody out there at the same time. But it was a great, great moment. I hope those of you got a chance to watch it live. Maybe you recorded it or taped it or whatever, and you got to come back and watch it later. But that was really cool. That was really cool. Now we got to wait another 4 years until we have the Winter Olympics again, but really, really good stuff. 330-821-1310 is our number, 330-821-1310. We'll take a break, about 24 minutes past the hour. We'll come back with more of the Sam Bourquin Show on a Monday in the snow on AM 1310 WDPN.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-498-2098 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-498-2098 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-498-2098 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
I'm Scarlett Johansson. My family relied on public assistance to help provide meals for us. These meals fueled my involvement in theater and the arts as a child, which fostered my love for acting. The Feeding America network of food banks helps millions of people put food on the table. You can join the movement to end hunger by donating, volunteering, and advocating. Because when people are fed, futures are nourished. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
And we're live here outside the Perez family home, just waiting for and there they go. Almost on time this morning. Mom is coming out the front door strong with a double-arm kid carry. Looks like Dad has the bags. Daughter is bringing up the rear. Oh, but the diaper bag wasn't closed. Diapers and toys are everywhere. Ooh, but Mom has just nailed the perfect car seat buckle for the toddler. And now the eldest daughter, who looks to be about 9 or 10, has secured herself in the booster seat. Dad zips the bag closed, and they're off. But looks like Mom doesn't realize her coffee cup is still on the roof of the car. And there it goes. Oh, that's a shame. That mug was a fam favorite.
Don't sweat the small stuff. Just nail the big stuff. Like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Learn more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Hey, don't write yourself off yet. It's only in your head you feel left out. Look down on
1310 WDPN. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show. 330-821-1310. You can text at 330-924-7088. Leave your comments on the Q92 Radio YouTube chat. Appreciate everybody doing that. While you're there, make sure you hit that subscribe button. That would be cool, too. Boy, is Floyd Mayweather Jr. just like flat broke? Last week, we saw that he is going to come out of retirement and fight Mike Tyson in an exhibition match. And now I see that he's going to fight Manny Pacquiao. Floyd versus Pacquiao, expected to take place in September at the Sphere in Las Vegas. What is the matter with these guys? I get it. It's the sport you love. I get it when it's hard for guys to retire, to step down from playing sports. But we're talking about boxing. Getting drilled in the head, drilled in the rib cage, in the neck, in the face.
Yeah,
guys in their late 40s.
At least with football, they're wearing helmets and stuff.
Oh, not
just bare knuckle impact.
Not these guys.
No.
It's just boxing gloves and your body.
The entire point of boxing is to get give the other guy a concussion.
I just don't understand it. This is just these guys are either broke or it's just an incredible cash grab by both. How old is Manny Pacquiao? I know Floyd is almost 50. Bad enough Mayweather's going to fight Tyson.
Yeah, how old is Mike Tyson? He's in his 50s, right?
Sure he is. Guy on Twitter, he goes by Midnight Y. It's a cash grab. But it's a cash grab that will generate $400 million. By the way, Floyd Mayweather Jr. is 48. 48 years old. He's broke. Mayweather's broke. He's got to be. Why would you come back and do that? But there will be enough suckers out there. They'll pay for it. They'll pay for it and they'll watch it. I wonder if, like, when I'm, God forbid, or God willing, when I'm like, I don't know, 74, and I can't string two sentences together, can't interview, can't read, can't follow a sport, I'm going to come back. I'm broke. You think that would work out okay?
I mean, all depends on how your body's doing at that point.
Jeez Louise.
How alert are you?
Right. Well, she ain't going to be that alert 20 years from now, I can tell you that.
Oh, God, no. Me neither.
All right, here we go. It is time for Sammy B's Best Bet. We do it Monday through Friday at 4:29 here on 1310 WDPN. Not a lot to pick from tonight because it's a Monday. Sometimes Monday nights are slow. But I think we found a little something tonight. We're going to go into the world of college basketball. And we're going to go to North Carolina, where the North Carolina Tar Heels are taking on the Louisville Cardinals at the Dean Dome. There's been some line movement here, Mr. Rainsburg, so we'll have to readjust here on the fly. We liked North Carolina at home plus 2.5. Well, the line has jumped up to 3.5. So we're going to take the Tar Heels at home plus 3.5 against Louisville. Carolina 7-3 in their last 10. The Cardinals are 8-2 in their last 10. Last meeting, Louisville won this game by 13. I think there's a little revenge angle here, huh? For the Powder Blues. So I'll take North Carolina tonight at home, plus the 3.5 against Louisville. That's Sammy B's Best Bet. We do it Monday through Friday at 4:29 here on 1310 WDPN. News is next. Stay with us.
Now, the latest area news on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 4:30. The armed man shot and killed Sunday morning at Mar-a-Lago, identified as 21-year-old Austin Martin. Law enforcement shot and killed a man carrying a shotgun and a container of gasoline who had breached Mar-a-Lago's secure perimeter around 1:30 a.m. Martin lived in North Carolina, and WXII-TV noted one of his relatives approached a Moore County Sheriff's Office deputy Sunday morning to let them know Martin was missing. He was entered into a database for missing persons. New York Post said a box for the shotgun was discovered in Martin's vehicle following the shooting. He allegedly entered Mar-a-Lago by driving through the gates as another vehicle left. Mexico on high alert Monday with schools closed, travelers stranded as members of a powerful cartel launched violent rampages after the army announced it had killed the country's most wanted drug lord. Nemesio El Mencho Oseguera, leader of the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, was wounded in a clash with soldiers in Tapalpa in Jalisco State and died while being flown to Mexico City Sunday. He had a $15 million U.S. bounty on his head. News of his death triggered violence, with cartel members across the country blocking roads and torching vehicles and businesses. Residents went into hiding. Tourists took shelter in their hotels and resorts. Violence spread to neighboring Michoacan state, where Oseguera's cartel also had a presence and gripped the resort city of Puerto Vallarta. Washington asked U.S. citizens to shelter in place until further notice. Iran's leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei has activated wartime secession planning to safeguard the regime amid fears of U.S. military strikes and assassination attempts. New York Times said former Guards commander and current head of Iran's Supreme National Security Council, Ali Larijani, is effectively taking control of national security. Khamenei has reportedly directed aides to create multiple layers of succession for key military and government posts and prepare for scenarios in which senior leaders are killed. J.P. Morgan Chase admitted it closed more than 50 of President Trump's bank accounts after his first term as president concluded. The bank admitted Friday the accounts were cut off in February 2021, according to the New York Times, weeks after the January 2021 riot at the Capitol. The revelation came after Trump and the Trump Organization filed suit in January against the company and its CEO, Jamie Dimon, for having debanked the president. Per the outlet, accounts reportedly debanked were those for hotels, housing developments, and retail shops in several states. J.P. Morgan did not specify in the letters a specific reason for the mass account closings. The U.S. will stop collecting tariffs the Supreme Court ruled were illegal. The agency said tariffs imposed under other statutory authorities will remain in place, including those under Section 232 of the Trade Expansion Act and Section 301 of the Trade Act. President Trump last year invoked the IEEPA to impose tariffs, citing the need to regulate international transactions, responded to an unusual and extraordinary threat to national security. The Supreme Court ruled last week the law does not clearly authorize tariffs. Following the court ruling, Customs and Border Protection said duties imposed will no longer be in effect. 24 degrees at 4:33 for WDPN News. I'm Clint Marshall.
Meteorologist Mark Johnson has the latest forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
More light snow on and off through your Monday afternoon. A mainly cloudy sky on the way. Look for a high, a blustery 31 degrees. Overnight snow ending early, mainly cloudy skies. Our low in the middle teens. Bundle up. I am Mark J. Weather from 3 News.
1310 WDPN. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show. Phone lines open, 330-821-1310. That's 330-821-1310. Poll question today: where were you yesterday when the United States beat Canada for the gold medal in Olympic hockey? Great comments, great response continuing to come in on all of our social media platforms. Samuel E. Altamore IV says he was at home yesterday. Go USA. Gus says he was at church yesterday. Shelley says she was at the Erie Street Pub. Walter at home, sitting in the recliner, enjoying the game. Go USA. Eric says he was on his couch yesterday. Max says he was at home watching with family yesterday. No place he would rather be. Brian says, I was working at the Home Depot yesterday. Sarita says, Sam, I was on a cruise ship coming into port when the big moment happened yesterday. Let's see here. I'll tell you what, this is the main reason I did this, because I figured most people on Sunday morning, not most, maybe a good amount of people would be at home. But I also thought that during that time frame, people would be at mass. Maybe they would be at work. Maybe they would be at a sports bar. I wasn't thinking about people coming into port from a cruise. I mean, this is why I put that question out there. The responses have been great. You got a couple more over there.
See, Dong Bubbler says, I was laying 1,000 feet of flooring at home.
Ooh.
Working hard and listening to
1,000 feet of flooring. What kind of a mansion are you living in, Dong Bob?
Oh, what's 1,000 square feet? Excuse me, but
1,000 square feet. Well, still, though.
Still.
It's a lot. It's a lot. Over the weekend, we actually went out to dinner twice this weekend. My wife and our son. We went out Saturday night, and we went out last night. And we kind of did we took a little trip around the world as far as, the bill of fare that we had. Anybody familiar with the Yummy Bowl over in the Belden Village area? It just opened up a couple of months ago. We went there Saturday night. Unbelievable wait to get in. Almost to the point where we pulled into the parking lot, and you could see in the lobby how many people were there. We almost just kind of kept going. But you know what they say, if a place is on a wait, it must be pretty good. So we got out of the car and we went in and we waited. I think we waited about 40 minutes till we got our table. It was pretty good. We will probably go back. And then yesterday, so I'm in the I guess we'll call it the smaller TV room. We got a couple of TV rooms on the first floor. So I was in the smaller one watching the hockey. I think my son slept till about noon, which is normal for a Sunday. So my wife comes down probably 10, almost 10. It was in between the third period and the overtime. So thank goodness the game wasn't going on. All right. So she comes down the steps. She says, "Hey, did you know what today is?" I'm like, "No." She goes, "It's National Margarita Day." Oh. So I suppose you want to go to a Mexican place tonight. So we ended up going to Fiesta Acapulco over on Dressler. It was pretty good. But the snow had just started kind of like, because we didn't go until, probably 7. We ate late last night for whatever reason. And the snow was kind of starting to come down. It was getting a little bit icy out. So we got home at about 8:45 or so. But it was pretty good. Definitely go back there again. And then Friday, I forgot about Friday because Friday was fish day. And I try to stick to that during Lent. I try to stick to that for the most part. And I think I do a pretty good job with it. So I'm leaving, where was our game at Friday? Jackson. Yes, we did Louisville Jackson over on Q92. So I'm leaving Jackson, and I did some social media stuff in the parking lot. And then, I don't know what time it was, 9-ish maybe. And I'm like, okay, no more fish sandwiches today. No more buns, no more carbs. I can't. Because I had a couple of sandwiches during lunch. I was like, I can't do it anymore. I'm like, where the heck am I going to go? I don't want to go in anywhere. I just want to get it to go. I just want to probably get it and eat it in the car. But I didn't want like, like, where am I going to go? Too late to go to a fish fry, obviously. So I settled on Culver's. And because I had heard that they had walleye. They had cod, but they also had walleye. So I ended up getting that, and I ate that in the car. So they had a picture of the walleye fish dinner on their board. Didn't give a price. So I said, well, I'll just order it. Welcome to Culver's. Okay. And so I'll take the walleye fish dinner. Okay, very good. Would you like 2-piece, 3-piece, or 4? I'm like, geez, it's after 9. 2. Okay. What would you like for your side? Fries okay? Yeah, it's okay. Coleslaw? Yep. All set. Okay, pull around. So I pull around. They give you that little ticket with a number on it, and you stick that on your side mirror so they can see what car to go to bring it out. So I get up I come up to the window to pay, and she's like, did you want a drink with that? Because it's not included. I'm like, So I look over, I check my water bottle out. I'm like, no, I'm good. I don't need a drink. She's like, okay, that'll be blah, 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 blah. Cash or card? Hand over my card. Get it back. And she hands me my receipt, and I pull up a little bit because you got to pull up a little bit to to wait area, and they bring your stuff out to you. So two-piece fish dinner, okay? No drink. $20. $20. And I sat there, and because I looked at my receipt, because I didn't even remember what she told me when I pulled in. I just handed her my card. $20 for 2 pieces of fish, French fries, and a thing of coleslaw. That's it. No drink. $20.
Were they at least really big pieces of fish?
I mean, they were decent size. They weren't. I mean, you know. I just couldn't believe. And I know how inflation and fast food robbery and all this other stuff. I could not believe I paid $20 for that. So they brought the bag out to the car, and I pulled over into one of the spaces that was available and cracked both my windows a little bit and dug in. And I ate the whole thing in the car. And I got home about 9:55. Way too much eating out this weekend. So my wife and son, they went to, they hit up one of the big box barns yesterday, you know, where you buy stuff in bulk because it's supposed to be a better deal, you know. So they went shopping yesterday and brought some stuff home. So there will be no eating out until probably Friday. And I'll be back in the same quandary again because I'll need to go get some fish somewhere. So I'm going to put a little game plan together for that. All right, we're going to step out. 4:46 is our time. Phone lines are open, 330-821-1310. Text line is open as well at 330-924-7088. And you can watch and listen and drop your comments on the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. That's up and rolling right now as well. When we get back, we'll come back. We'll hear from the head coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers, Kenny Atkinson, on the wine and gold woes in Oklahoma City yesterday. That's coming up next. Stay with us.
We are the keepers of the wild, America's original and most invested conservationists. For more than 80 years, we've been committed to conserving wildlife and the natural landscapes that define our nation. From rugged alpine ridgelines to peaceful tall grass prairies, we've supported the conservation of more than 36 million acres of American wildlands. Our funding has led to cleaner water, fresher air, and improved wildlife habitat. From abundant fish and waterfowl populations to robust deer and elk herds, nothing is more important than maintaining wild spaces for adventurers to explore and wildlife to thrive. We are America's hunters and target shooters, stewards of the American outdoors.
America's hunters and target shooters, along with firearm, ammunition, and archery manufacturers, have invested more than $46 billion to help state fish and wildlife agencies manage and protect wildlife and wildlands across America. For more information, visit outdoorstewards.org.
For 75 years, the Muscular Dystrophy Association's voices have thundered through the halls of Congress.
For 75 years, we've willed the impossible into existence.
For 75 years, the MDA community has pushed the science,
shifted the narrative, and established the field of neuromuscular medicine.
And until that day, when this is all a thing of the past,
you couldn't stop us if you tried.
Join us and celebrate 75 years of breakthroughs at MDA75.org.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
Nathan has taught me to embrace the moment. Age-wise, I'm in my late 60s. I'm old enough to be his grandfather. Will he be embarrassed to acknowledge me as his dad? I think the most important thing we can do is let them know that they're safe, that they're valued and cared for and loved, and that they're important.
I knew I wanted to be adopted by him because of how he taught me to be the person who I am today. And it's coming from a dad that didn't expect to become a dad. And I feel very proud to be his son.
That was what he needed, and he was what I needed. Every day is full of new opportunities. That's what it's been about, realizing the simple things that it takes to make such a huge difference in these kids' lives.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care at adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
1310 WDPN. Oh, my God. I'm laughing at Rainsburg's misery, and I shouldn't be doing that. Oh.
No, it's all misery here all the time.
It's all part of the gig, I
guess. That's my life.
Welcome back, everybody, to Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN, 330-821-1310 is our telephone number. Don't forget, drop those comments on your social media platforms. One final Milan 2026 Winter Olympics medal count before we put this to bed. Norway with 41 total medals, the U.S. with 33. Italy had 30. Germany had 26. Japan had 24. The U.S., we'll break it down, had 12 gold, 12 gold, 12 silver, and 9 bronze. And most importantly, we got the gold in women's and men's hockey this year. So congratulations to the USA. All right, the Cavs on the short end yesterday in Oklahoma City as they fell to the Thunder 121-113. Now, if you were watching that game at the beginning, it was ugly with a capital U, like 28-5, 29-5, but it's the NBA. You knew the Cavs were going to come back. It was just, how much energy did they need to use? Were they going to be able to hold the fort down after they come back to get the win? Would they run out of gas at the end? And all of that was true. They did get down early big. They did rally. They did take a short lead. And then that was it. Now, the concern was the Thunder were without 2 of their best players. And one of them, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Cavaliers were full go. The Thunder were not. And the Cavs fell into some bad habits again yesterday of not being aggressive on the boards, letting the ball get wrestled away from them, loose balls on the floor. We didn't get them. Several opportunities for the Cavaliers in the third and fourth quarter. OKC was getting rebounds, second chance, third chance. And all I could think of was, oh, my God, I'm watching the Knicks series from a couple years ago. I'm watching the Pacers from a couple. Try to keep everything in perspective. Noon start. Oklahoma City, tough place to play. Cavs have been playing a lot of games here, over the last couple of days, and they're going to do that all this week as well. But a little worrisome yesterday. I don't know how you all thought, but I was a little worried. Let's check in with Kenny Atkinson, some of his postgame yesterday after the Cavaliers fell to the Thunder in Oklahoma City.
Kenny, what did you think was the issue early on in this game?
10 turnovers, was it, in the first quarter? Story of the game. We were lucky. We cut it to 15. Even after 10 turnovers. So, that was kind of the story of the game. And we got down in such a big hole, fought back, had a chance. But, you can't get off to a start like that on the road, turn the ball over like that on the road.
They hit 21 threes. Obviously, they were without several of their creators. How did you think that happened against you guys defensively?
Yeah, they shot the heck out of it, cooled down a little in the second half. But, credit to them. They really shot the ball well. Got to look at it, see if our contests were right. I thought their drive game hurt us, right? They drive and kick. We're in the gaps. They kick, hitting threes. We just, our drive defense could have been better and our contest could have been better. That's before watching the film.
When you guys are down by, I believe it was 23, and you fight all the way back, how much energy does that take to when it comes time to close out the game? It's tough.
Of course it does. But, we play a lot of guys. So it's not like, I don't think we ran out of gas, so to speak. I thought it was more, them playing well. And I felt like they got, a couple of key offensive rebounds. We get a stop and we got to clean that up. That to me, that's our Achilles heel right now. Defensive rebounding. They got some big ones at the end. Give that best team in the league extra possessions. It really hurts you.
What went into the decision after halftime to put Sam in the first 5 coming out in the third quarter as opposed to Dean?
Yeah, I felt like we needed more shooting. We needed more, again, more space for James and Don to work.
What did you think of the way that Jarrett and Evan played today?
Yeah, I mean, you know, they were fine. I mean, they didn't have, stellar games. I think Evan's still trying to get his footing right after the injury. Showed some real good flashes. Had a couple good looks there at the end of the game that he's got to knock down. JA was not Superman today, but it happens. Listen, this is not an excuse. This is a tough schedule, right? Like 3 and 4 noon game. It is what it is, and you got to overcome that. But tough schedule game. So I'm proud of the way the guys, fought back and gave us a chance.
Do you think the scheduling impacted things?
I mean, it's always part. That's the reality of the life in this league, right? Like you know when you're at a probably a scheduling deficit. You know it. Before the game. We don't tell the players, but I know. I know what the schedule is. So I definitely can have a little empathy after the game. That's not an excuse, though.
You had a couple possessions, defensive possessions. I think late in the third, you had Dennis pressure the ball in the front court, led to a turnover and a bucket by Donovan. Why is that hard to repeat during the regular season, to run that kind of defense like more than a couple possessions at a time?
I mean, there are certain teams that do it in this league. They do it. You have to have a special guy on the ball that can do it for however minutes. Even Dennis can't. It's hard to repeat that physically. To repeat that, I can only think of 1 or 2 guys in the league that can do that consistently all game. So Dennis does it a lot. It helps us. We'll keep using him in that role.
And then the Thunder are champs, so obviously they're pretty good. But why is their style tough to play against? What do they do that makes it outside of the talent?
I don't know. They got lottery talent. It abounds. That's always the first thing I look at. They got lottery talent, and then they have good continuity, right? The roster change. A lot of those guys played in the G League. The guys come up, so they have a system that helps with their chemistry and continuity. But it always starts with the talent.
Chris,
Yeah, Chris.
Hey, guys. Does this have the feel of an elevated game?
I don't know. Like I said, the scheduling thing was a little different, right? Like that. So, like I said, 3 and 4, we got a noon game, on the road. Makes it a little different. Just it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, guys, I don't know, guys were competing. The crowd was really into it. I thought playoff wise, that was a playoff ambiance. Give it credit to their crowd. And guys were playing like it was a playoff game.
You guys finally took the lead. It only lasted for 90 seconds. Why was it so hard to withstand their pushback after you did claim that lead?
I mean, we I'd have to go back and look exactly how we lost it. I did feel like we had a couple bad offensive possessions that got them transition buckets. Our shot quality wasn't great. I blame it probably more on the offense than the defense. With this team, you can't give them possessions, whether it's a turnover or a bad shot. They're number 1 in the league in transition efficiency, because they cause turnovers, which equal layups. And if you take bad shots, they go down and they score. So I felt like that's what happened. That's how they got the lead back.
There's Kenny Atkinson, head coach of the Cavs, meeting with the media after the Cleveland lost to Oklahoma City yesterday in OKC, 121-113. Busy week for the Cavs. Knicks tomorrow, Bucks Wednesday, Pistons Friday. Ugh. Brutal stretch coming up right now for the Cavs. Brutal stretch. We'll see what they got. All right, let's check on the Guardians right now. A little exhibition baseball going on this afternoon. Guardians up 7-0 as they are going to the top of the 7th inning. Cleveland is playing the Arizona Diamondbacks today. So we got our hitting shoes on this afternoon. Let's take a look and see what's going on here. For the guards today, Stephen Kwan 1 for 3. Chase DeLauder 1 for 3 with an RBI and a run scored. Jose Ramirez 2 for 3 with a run scored, 4 RBI, also a home run today for Jose. Bo Naylor 2 for 3 today. Gabby Arias 1 for 3. On the mound today, Tanner Bybee 2 innings of 1-hit baseball. Matt Festa 1 inning, no hits. Tim Herron 1 inning, couple of hits. Colby Allard 2 hits in a couple of innings. So a good day for the guards today. Exhibition play. They lead Arizona by the score of 7-0 in the top of the 7th inning, and that ball game going on today out at Goodyear, Arizona, where it's 86 degrees right now out in Arizona. A lot warmer than we've got it right now. All right, Clint is ready to go in the AM1310 WDPN newsroom. We'll get the weather from Mark Johnson, and we'll come back with one more big hour here on the Sam Bourquin Show. Lots to get to, so hang out with us here on AM1310 WDPN.
An Alliance tradition for over half a century. You can always count on WDPN Alliance.
ABC News, I'm Mike Tobuski. Nearly 600,000 power outages across the Northeast this hour after that powerful nor'easter brought feet of snow and winds as high as 80 miles an hour. ABC's Sherry Preston.
New Jersey Governor Mikey Sherrill says more than 100,000 people in her state lost power, then had it restored. But there are still thousands in the dark and without heat.
There are still a significant number of people without power now. We're working to get to them.
New York Governor Kathy Hochul says
utility crews are deployed. They're ready to fix the lines if they come down.
But with the winds as strong as they have been, she says it's just too dangerous to send crews up utility poles. Sherry Preston, ABC News, Glen Ridge, New Jersey.
Markets closing sharply down with the Dow now tumbling more than 800 points over uncertainty around President Trump's new 15% tariffs. The tech-heavy NASDAQ similarly down on concerns about artificial intelligence and its potential to disrupt industries. This is ABC News.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date. Your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected. Your floor mats are cleaned and delivered. And your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with a Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like nuclear reactor safety expert.
I disabled the backup cooling system. It was making such an annoying noise. You heard it, right? It was like,
We're on a countdown to core failure.
And you're saying we don't want that?
This is the job for sponsored jobs.
This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job.
Now, the latest Alliance area news from Clint Marshall on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 5:02. Firefighters in Canton returned to the scene of a deadly house fire to search for possible additional victims. Crews were unable to fully search the heavily damaged home in the 1000 block of 5th Street Southwest Sunday night due to dangerous structural conditions. Drones are being used to examine areas that cannot be safely accessed. One man was found dead inside the home. Starr County Coroner's Office identified him as Brian Shackelford. Blaze also damaged a neighboring building and displaced 10 residents who are receiving assistance from the Red Cross. The cause is under investigation. Canton police investigating a fatal pedestrian crash from Sunday night. Westbound car struck a man walking in the 700 block of 17th Street Southeast around 6:15. Man was taken to a local hospital where he died. The driver was not hurt. Drugs or alcohol are not suspected factors for the driver. Canton Metro crash team is investigating. An Akron man arrested in Starr County in connection with a double homicide in West Virginia. 27-year-old Cavante White was taken into custody Sunday on Grandview Avenue Northeast in Plain Township by U.S. Marshals and the Starr County Sheriff's Department. He was wanted on warrants charging him with 2 counts of murder and malicious wounding in a Friday shooting in Huntington that killed Adrian Phillips and Darius Johnson. Third person was wounded and remains in stable condition. White had traveled to Akron following the shooting and was located with help from multiple law enforcement agencies. He's awaiting extradition to West Virginia. A fugitive from Canton was arrested in West Virginia Friday. 30-year-old Roland Reddick was found at home in Chapmanville during a response to reports of drug activity and being held against their will. He allegedly gave false information to law enforcement. 49-year-old Chad Williams of Chapmanville was also arrested on multiple charges. Police say they seized suspected fentanyl, multiple firearms, and a large sum of cash. Both men were transported to the Southwestern Regional Jail. Man is dead following a Friday night hit-skip crash in Alliance. 63-year-old Tim Mathis of Alliance had just turned north from South Union Avenue on East Summit Street when his car was rear-ended shortly after 11, sending it into a front yard on Union. Police say the second vehicle, driven by a 38-year-old Alliance man, fled the scene but was later found at a Garfield Avenue address. Mathis was taken to Alliance Community Hospital where he died. He was not wearing a seatbelt. Alcohol is suspected, and investigators continue to look into the crash. Louisville Elementary School was closed today after a house fire near the school's main entrance. The district said the closure affected only Louisville Elementary and all other schools were open as scheduled. Details about the fire have not been released. The adoptive parents of a 3-year-old Canton boy have been sentenced in his death. Common Pleas Judge Kristen Farmer ordered 38-year-old Jamie Thompson of Louisville and 43-year-old Demetrius Gibbons of Akron to serve 8 to 12 years in prison. Friday's sentencing followed their guilty pleas to involuntary manslaughter and endangering children. Prosecutors say the two refused to properly feed and care for the child. The indictment states the abuse occurred between January 2023 and last May. The boy died May 5th. A Plain Township man headed to federal prison for stealing nearly $200,000 in equipment from the Cleveland VA Medical Center where he worked. 41-year-old Dustin Jagger was sentenced to a year and a day behind bars in order to pay $198,000 in restitution. Prosecutors say Jagger used a government-issued credit card to buy iPhones, iPads, tools, and jewelry between April 2022 and May 2023, keeping some of the items and selling others online. The theft came to light after a 2023 traffic stop in Indiana uncovered more than $29,000 in electronics. DeMarco McKinley of Cleveland, who was found with the items, received a year and a day in prison. Jagger was ordered to report by the end of April. An 18-year-old from New Philadelphia dead following a one-vehicle crash in Carroll County. The Highway Patrol says the accident happened just after 6:30 Friday evening on Azalea Road in Orange Township. Troopers report Kyra Bunton was driving eastbound when a car crossed the center line, went off the road, struck an embankment, and overturned. Investigators say Bunton was not wearing a seatbelt and was ejected. She was pronounced dead at the scene. A pastor, 18-year-old Charity Coolig of Midvale, was taken to Mercy Hospital with minor injuries. Crash remains under investigation. Man is in custody following a police chase across multiple counties Friday night. A spokesperson with the Canfield Post of the Highway Patrol tells WFMJ-TV troopers were called around 5 to assist with a pursuit that began on I-76 in Portage County's Palmyra Township. Chase ended just before 5:40 along Tippecanoe Road near Leffingwell in Boardman Township. Troopers report no crashes connected to the pursuit. The suspect later identified as Joshua Colmar. He was wanted on a warrant for theft out of Boardman. 23 degrees at 5:07. This is the local edition of WDPN News. I'm Clint Marshall.
Now, the Alliance Area Weather Forecast from Mark Johnson on AM 1310 WDPN.
A little bit of light snow for you Monday afternoon. Our high a blustery 31 degrees. Overnight snow ending early. Cloudy skies for the most part. Our low 16 degrees. Wow, that's cold. I am Mark J. Weather from 3 News.
Live from the AM 1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Get into the puck. Boldy looking to push through. Back Boldy to the net. He scores! On the net. And it's Werenski. Now Jack Hughes hooks it around the car. United States with numbers. Puck across it comes. Jeff Hughes wins it. The golden goal for the United States. For the first time since the 1980 miracle, the United States takes the gold.
Good as the Cavs has been down double digits 14 times.
Allen the stuff, and the Cavs with their first lead of the day.
Go ahead.
The Buckeyes in mid-January, saved by Tilly, shot clock at 6, works inside, the bump, the prime, the spin, the deuce.
And this is what Ohio State needs. Some of these.
Nice move there by Christoph Tilly, but not enough for the Buckeyes. Cavaliers not enough against the Thunder yesterday, but the big news, the great news, the happy news, the great way to start the Sunday. Heck, it's been over 24 hours now already. But hey, what the heck? It's a gold medal. USA over Canada, 2-1, overtime, and we hoist the gold for the first time since 1980. Welcome into the Sam Bourquin Show, everybody. AM 1310 WDPN, Sam Bourquin here, Ryan Rainsberg on the other side of the glass. Phone lines are open, 330-821-1310. That's 330, excuse me, 330-821-1310. You can also hit us up on the Q92 Radio YouTube page, YouTube channel. We got the chat going right there, so fire away. Our poll question of the day, and it kind of relates to the gold medal game yesterday. Thought we'd have a little fun with that this afternoon. Where were you yesterday when the U.S. beat Canada for the Olympic gold in hockey? Where were you when the United States scored in overtime to win the gold medal? A lot of great response. Wow, it just keeps coming in. This is really, really, really good today. Some people were in church. Some people were working. I've had a couple that were coming home from a cruise. Some were at the beach. Really, really good stuff. Appreciate all the comments today on all of our social media platforms. Some of you, thank you for sending in photos of where you were. Some of you had actually sent some videos in of the game-winning goal and where you were. So we really do appreciate that. But keep them coming in. We're going to be with you until 6 o'clock here this afternoon. So keep those coming in, and we'll read those here on the show. Where were you when the golden goal, where were you when the U.S. beat Canada yesterday? I still can't get over a couple of you. You were on a cruise ship coming into port. That is really awesome. One was in a plane. One of you were actually in a plane during the game yesterday. Gary says, at home in my living room. Kelly watching it from home on the couch. James says, I was at the Sanctuary Church of God in East Canton. Merrill says he was at an area sports bar, got there at 8 a.m. Place was packed. Chet says, I was at my brother-in-law's, watched it on the big screen. He says they were about a case in by the time overtime rolled around. I hope you weren't driving home anywhere close to that. Holy smokes. Brian says, I was working at the Home Depot during the game yesterday. A lot of folks on their recliners, in their couches, in their living room. Some of you sent pictures of your man caves. Keep those coming in, 330-821-1310, or you can put them on the text, and we'll get that to you as well. Pretty cool moment yesterday. Hope you got to enjoy that. Summer games are coming up now. 2028 in Los Angeles. Hope they're ready for that. I thought the winter games were fantastic. I thought the venues were really cool. Everything looked like it was really well attended. The sporting events themselves, I thought, were really entertaining. I just thought the backdrop was cool. You know what I mean? I thought it was just really, Really, really well done. And, of course, the U.S. women getting the gold in hockey, the U.S. men getting the gold in hockey. Kind of a great way to cap the Winter Games. And I had mentioned to you on the show last week that and I'm really mad at myself now. I didn't get to watch as much of the Winter Games as I wanted. And whether it was because of work or schedule or whatever, life, I just didn't get a chance. And now I'm really kind of angry at myself. Because, you know what, now that it's over, and I did get to watch a little bit of the closing ceremonies yesterday, and I was like, oh, like the air just came out of me. I'm like, oh, it's over. You got to wait 4 more years. I really wish I would have made a point to watch more of everything. A little bit more of the downhill, a little bit more of the luge, a little bit more the bobsled, a little bit more of the skating. I just wish I would have watched some more of the Olympics, and I didn't, and I'm kind of mad at myself about that. But I'm glad I caught the gold medal game yesterday, and that was really cool. Coming up here in a couple of minutes, I do want to play for you the close that Mike Tirico delivered on the telecast with NBC. I'm going to tell you what. I thought Mike Tirico was phenomenal during these whole games. You got to remember, he had just finished calling the Super Bowl in Santa Clara and had to get to Milan for the Olympics. And he seamlessly, I mean, I'm sure it was more difficult than it looked, but he seamlessly just jumped in there and just carried it. Carried the coverage. And the way that he did the ending after the hockey game yesterday, I thought he summarized it as beautifully as you could. I thought Mike Tirico was really good. Not that he hasn't been before, but I mean, you talk about, all the stuff that he does with golf and football and the Olympics, NFL. I mean, he does a lot. And I thought he was fantastic. Rainsburg, you have that cut that Tirico had yesterday. I wanted to play that for everybody today, just in case you missed it. I think it's about a minute, maybe a little less. But this is Mike Tirico during the sign-off after the gold medal hockey game yesterday on NBC.
Because of a drought that almost lasted a half century, those teams are revered. They are held on to forever. And what happened today doesn't take away from the greatness of those teams or the meaning that those teams have in U.S. hockey. But what you saw today was the build of a generation, inspired perhaps by that team that lost in 2010 in Vancouver to the Sidney Crosby golden goal in overtime, or the team where TJ Oshie had all those shootout goals in 2014. That's when these guys were doing what you're doing, watching on TV, and they were young, and they were living the dream. So for all the young people out there, not just the hockey, but all the Olympics you've watched, those dreams are formed now. Go chase them and go get them, because our country loves sports, and it brings us together unlike anything else. And if you didn't know that, if you haven't been watching the last 2 weeks, you saw it in Team USA Hockey, winning the gold over their arch rival Canada here in Milan to wrap up these 25th Olympic Winter Games.
I thought that was as eloquent as you could paint the picture. I thought that was really good. Mike Tirico yesterday on NBC. But yeah, went to bed last night, woke up today going, man, I wish there was another week. Really, I wish there was another week of the Winter Games. But they're done and over with, and we got to wait. We got to wait 4 more years. All right, Guardians leading Arizona now 7-3 in the bottom of the 7th inning out in Goodyear. Jose, a big home run today and 4 RBI for the Guards. No Cavs tonight, no Buckeyes tonight. They were in action yesterday, both falling. Cavs to the Thunder, and Ohio State losing to Michigan State 70-66. Bucks didn't play poor yesterday, but Michigan State, I thought, let them back in the game late. Ohio State. Rainsburg, could you turn me down just a little bit over there, just a tad?
I'm sorry, did you say down or up?
Down.
Down. Okay.
Down just a little bit. That's good right there. The Buckeyes went on a 7-0 run last night, or yesterday afternoon, after I thought, actually, you know what? I turned the channel. I was done. I was going back and forth between Ohio State and the Cavs yesterday, and the Buckeyes, I think they took the under 4 media timeout. They were down 8 or 9. I said that I'm done. So I went back over to the Cavs in Oklahoma City, and then I don't know what happened. I think there must have been 3 timeouts in the Cavs Oklahoma City game, 3 stoppages in play that lasted like 15 minutes. And I'm like, oh my God, what are we doing here? So I flipped back over to CBS, and I popped Ohio State on, and they're just coming out of commercial, and Kevin Harlan says that the Buckeyes are on a 7-0 run. And I go, are you kidding me? They got a chance to win this game? And they didn't win, and they fell by 4. But after the game, and I'll have Rainsburg pull this cut up from Tom Izzo for Michigan State. He was really candid with a CBS interview after the game yesterday. He was not happy at all with the way his team played, and he said so on national TV. Here's Tom Izzo after the Buckeye game yesterday up at the Breslin Center.
Certainly never easy in this league. What do you think about the way you guys played today?
I don't want to tell you on your network what I think of how we played, but especially nowadays when somebody says something bad about a player and they get fired, it's very disgusting and disappointing. But we weren't very good, and I don't want to take anything away from them. But we start off the opening play throwing the ball out of bounds for no reason. I was really disappointed in our performance, so I'm happy with a win. Let me tell you something. I played good and lost. I played bad and won. Today we played awful and won. And yet, I don't want to take anything away from them because they did a hell of a job.
Certainly.
That was Tom Izzo after the game yesterday. Buckeyes losing to his Spartans by 4, 70-66. He was not happy with the way they played. But you could hear in his voice, Tom Izzo is an old school war horse of a coach. There's not many left. And I think, I know he was referencing what happened to Coach Tang at Kansas State, who was relieved of his duties 4 or 5 days prior because he lit into his team a little bit. Actually had them take their names off the back of their jerseys because they were playing so poorly, and they weren't going to put them back on until they got it together. And he lit into his team. He said they were embarrassing. Well, you know how it is nowadays, boy. You can't offend anybody. You can't make anybody upset, or there'll be hell to pay. Well, Kansas State fired him. They fired him, and that's what Coach Izzo was talking about there. He wanted to say some stuff about his kids and his team because they played so poorly, but he didn't. But he was referencing what happened to Coach Tang at Kansas State a couple of days before. He came down on his kids. He kind of lit them up a little bit, and for that reason, he got fired. But Coach Izzo, he'll tell you, he tried to tell you how he felt without telling you how he felt. Michigan State was 21-5. I think they were ranked 15th in the country. It was a winnable game for Ohio State. That's a win Ohio State, in my opinion, really, really needed. Now, if they go on to win the rest of their regular season games, then Michigan State's loss won't hurt them. I don't know if Ohio State can win more than maybe 1 or 2 of their next 3 or 4 games. And I'm not even talking about the Big Ten tournament. I'm talking about the regular season. That's a game that Ohio State, in my opinion, had to win yesterday. And they didn't. I'm trying to do this off of memory. I was looking at some stats this morning, kind of doing a little prep work for the show. Damn it, I didn't write it down. I think Ohio State is 0-9 in quad one games. I don't think they have a quad one win. That is going to kill them for the tournament. I mean, their strength of schedule is pretty good, but they haven't won any of those games. They didn't beat Virginia. They haven't beaten any of the big dogs. They've been close, but they haven't won them. They don't have a quad one win. How can you justify putting a team in the tournament that doesn't have a quad one win? And you're Ohio State from the Big Ten. I just, they're going to have to go on a run of all runs to get in the tournament. And by that, I mean they're going to have to win the rest of their regular season games and maybe win at least 2 in the Big Ten tournament, and they'll get in. Because that'll give them 19. That'll give them around 24 wins. That'll get them in. Or they're going to have to, if they stumble here down the stretch and say they only win 1 more regular season game, then they're going to have to win the Big Ten tournament. Or I don't think they're going to get in. Now, again, strength of schedule could save them. But when you don't have any quad one wins, I mean, you beat Wisconsin a couple nights ago. They were ranked, 24th, 25th? You didn't beat Illinois. You didn't beat Michigan State. You didn't beat Michigan. You didn't beat Nebraska. You didn't beat Virginia. You had a couple other non-conference games. You lost close. That's why I keep saying those games, and I know nobody pays attention to college basketball in November, December, even in early January. And I don't mean to say that absolutely nobody watches. The people are watching. But football kind of takes the cake there, so a lot of people are not paying much attention to it. And you got all these tournaments going on in Hawaii, Alaska. It's all over the place. And there was a lot of great games, a lot of non-conference showdowns. Number 5 versus number 2, number 4 versus number 8. Good stuff. And those games matter. Even in November, those games matter. And you say, well, who cares about games in November? We worry about how teams are playing now. No, those count. Those count on your resume. The committee cannot throw those away. And the Buckeyes just have not won enough of those kind of games. They need to go on a run to get to the tournament. 26 minutes past the hour, 330-821-1310. We'll take a break. We'll come back, get you set for On This Day in Sports History. That'll be next here on the Sam Bourquin Show. Stay with us, 1310 WDPN.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-498-2098 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as 1 day. Just dial 1-800-498-2098 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-498-2098 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
How's Tommy doing now?
Much better.
You said it was asthma?
Yeah, he started with this cough and then he was wheezing.
That's terrifying.
Doctor said hidden triggers can make it worse. Things like dust, mold, and even pests.
Pests?
Yeah, droppings and allergens from cockroaches and rodents can seriously impact children with asthma or allergies.
I had no idea.
We're making sure our home stays pest-free.
Don't let pests put your family's health at risk. Visit pestworld.org to learn more. A public service message from the National Pest Management Association.
Imagine the hospital experience.
There's a constant parade of serious doctors, countless tests, and a serious diagnosis. Scary surgeries are followed by painful recoveries. You're in the hospital for days, weeks, months. Now imagine you're a child. This is why Starlight exists. Starlight programs help kids in the hospital cope, build resilience, bolster confidence, and change their outlook. Because happiness matters. Visit starlight.org to learn more.
All right, we got you ready to go here on this day in sports history. Oh, and the audio we have today is from 41 years ago. I think you'll remember it. On this day in 1874, Walter Winfield presented a game called Sparrow Strike, more widely known as lawn tennis. Didn't know that. On this day in 1968, Wilt Chamberlain of the Philadelphia 76ers became the first player to score 25,000 career points in the NBA. 1983, Herschel Walker signed a $5 million three-year contract with the USFL's New Jersey Generals. On this day in 1991, North Carolina became the first NCAA team to win 1,500 games. On this day in 1999, Garth Brooks attended the spring training camp of the San Diego Padres as a non-roster player. And on this day in 2000, Robbie Knievel, the son of Evel Knievel, made a successful motorcycle jump of 200 feet over an oncoming train. Yeah, that's what I like to do in my spare time. All right, 41 years ago, to the basketball floor, Bobby Knight decided to pick up a chair. Here's how it sounded.
Now inside of the foul is on Darryl Thomas, his second. And the sixth Indiana team foul. We've only played 5 minutes of the first half.
Brett Jasper's now chasing Bobby Knight back to his chair.
And
he's
we got
got him
technical.
right there. There's the tee.
Two-shot technical against the bench and against Bob Knight. Steve Reed, an excellent free throw shooter, will have the honors shooting the technicals.
Look at here. Bobby Knight just threw his chair clear across the free throw lane.
And I think Fred
Unbelievable.
Bobby Knight. 41 years ago, double T, Bobby picked up that chair and he fired it across the floor in disgust. That is on this day in sports history. We'll take a break. The news and the weather and more coming up next here on 1310 WDPN.
The latest news and the current Alliance area weather forecast are up next on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 5:30. Man killed by Secret Service agents Sunday while attempting to breach Mar-a-Lago in Florida had an apparent obsession with the release of files pertaining to Jeffrey Epstein. 2 agents and a deputy from the Palm Beach Sheriff's Office confronted 21-year-old Austin Martin, who was armed with a shotgun and a gas can. The text between Martin and a coworker from February 15th indicated a belief there was a cover-up about Epstein. While Democrats have sought to tar the president over his past friendship with the financier, attorney Bradley Edwards, who represented some of Epstein's victims, described Trump in a 2018 video as someone who aided his efforts. Police in Florida last week said Trump contacted them about investigating Epstein and called the financier's companion, Ghislaine Maxwell, an evil person. Mexican military reportedly killed the leader of one of the Western Hemisphere's most dangerous drug trafficking organizations, setting off violent retaliation across multiple states. Federal forces killed Nemesio Cervantes, known as El Mencho, head of the Jalisco New Generation Cartel. Trump administration designated the cartel as a foreign terrorist organization in February of last year. Federal authorities offered up to $15 million for information leading to his capture. The group traffics fentanyl and engages in extortion, migrant smuggling, and weapons trade across nearly every region of Mexico. Washington asked U.S. citizens there to shelter in place until further notice. Air traffic at a standstill across much of the northeastern U.S. as a powerful storm brings snow and strong winds. As of around 9:30 this morning, Nearly 5,500 flights in or out of the U.S. were canceled, according to online tracker Flight Aware. Hundreds of others were delayed. The National Weather Service called travel conditions extremely treacherous and nearly impossible. The New York City Department of Sanitation's website features a page where residents can apply to become paid emergency snow shovelers as the winter storm was bearing down on the area. However, the page said applicants must present 2 photos, 2 original forms of ID plus copies, and their social security card. New York Post reported Saturday new Mayor Zoran Mandani is opposed to requiring people to show identification when voting. The Post article read the mayor is a member of the New York chapter of the Democratic Socialists of America, which vehemently opposes voter ID law, the SAVE Act, deeming it racist. The New York City Board of Elections does not require most registered voters to use an ID. Federal judge has permanently barred the release of a report by special counsel Jack Smith on his investigation into President Trump's classified documents at his Mar-a-Lago estate. U.S. District Judge Eileen Cannon granted a request from the president to keep under wraps the report detailing Smith's findings in the probe that resulted in criminal charges in 2023. The case was dismissed the following year after concluding Smith was unlawfully appointed. 23 degrees at 5:33 for WDPN News. I'm Clint Marshall.
Here's Mark Johnson's forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
A little bit of lingering snow on and off through your Monday afternoon, just a dusting. It's going to be blustery and cold, a high of 31 degrees. Overnight, more scattered light snow during the evening hours, then clouds. Our low near 16 degrees. I am Mark J. Weather from 3 News.
They made up their minds and they started packing.
Welcome back, everybody. 1310 WDPN, Sam Bourquin Show. We're with you until 6 o'clock tonight. Phones open, 330-821-1310. Drop your comments on our YouTube chat. We had a couple folks asking about our upcoming high school basketball broadcast schedule between 1310 WDPN and Q92. This is what I can tell you, because there's still a lot of unknowns yet. Friday, nothing on the AM tomorrow. No hoops tomorrow on the AM. Thursday, we will have Mount Union at home in an OAC semifinal at 7 p.m. Don't know who they're going to play yet, but they will play home Thursday at 7 p.m. If Mount Union wins Thursday, they will be at home Saturday at a time to be determined by the school. If you host, you get to pick what time you want to play. We've been hearing some rumblings maybe of like a 2 o'clock game or something on Saturday, but that is not official, so don't put that in stone yet. So we will have Mount Union Thursday night, men, and hopefully we'll have the Mount Union men on Saturday. On Q92, no game tomorrow. We will have a game for you Friday. Looks like we will be doing Aurora at Louisville on Friday. That it's not 100%, but that's kind of the way we're leaning, and we'll have to make some arrangements there. Saturday afternoon here on 1310 WDPN, 4 o'clock, West Branch girls will be playing. Christian will have the call there from Lordstown. So here's the scoop, and this is why we can't really put this stuff in stone because, well, we can't. If Mount Union men would play Saturday, and if they play at 2, we would have the Purple Raider men at 2, and we would go right into the West Branch girls game at 4. Both of those would be right here on AM 1310 WDPN. Now, if Mount plays at a different time, you may be looking at the West Branch game maybe being streamed. But again, we're really not going to know all of this 100% until about 9:30 on Thursday night. So as soon as all this kind of comes into focus, we'll be sure to tell you all about it. It'll be up on our social medias. You can listen to it on all the shows. 1310 WDPN Q92 Radio with Christian and Lauren in the morning. We'll keep you up to date with what's going on. But again, I can't just tell you everything because we can't. That's just the way it is. Tournament time, you try to plan, but you really go by the seat of your pants.
There is no planning this time of year, Sam.
No,
there really isn't.
There isn't. Because whatever plans you make usually end up going right out the window.
Yep, they're going to get ruined.
So, but I know we had a couple folks asking. So that's what it looks like. I'm sorry. That's all I can give you, but that's all I can give you.
So it's funny because you said a couple of folks asking, me being one of them.
Right. Now, I can tell you this. If you want to look ahead a little bit, I can tell you next Tuesday on Q92, we will have Jackson McKinley at the Field House. That will be for a district semifinal, and that will be at 7 p.m. That'll be on Q92 next Tuesday. But that's as far as we can go. And hey, things might change between now and then. Okay, so that's where we're at there. Told you earlier this afternoon that Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Manny Pacquiao are going to fight again. They're going to fight on Saturday night, September the 19th at the Sphere in Las Vegas. And how about this? The fight will be broadcast globally on Netflix. Pacquiao Mayweather is going to be on Netflix on Saturday, September the 19th. And who knows what time that fight will start, because you got the 3-hour time difference. So who knows? I got to laugh on the Netflix X page. It says, Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao. Two of the greatest icons in boxing history will meet again in the first ever professional boxing match at the Sphere in Las Vegas. Hashtag MayPac2.
They're having it at the Sphere in Las Vegas?
Yeah, they sure are.
So where are they going to make it look like it's actually at?
That's true.
Because it's the Sphere. It's a giant script.
Yeah.
All right.
It's going to be, yeah.
I mean, that's really funny.
Now, again, Floyd Money Mayweather is 48 years old. I don't know. You know what? Hold on. I'm going to find out right now.
If you look up Manny Pacquiao.
I'm dying to know how old he is. How old is Manny Pacquiao? 47. And I'm not even sure I believe that. The Pac-Man, some days I think that he's about 55. But so you'll have 47-year-old Manny Pacquiao against 48-year-old Floyd Mayweather Jr. at the Sphere in Las Vegas. Saturday night, September the 19th. Who's going to be dialed in for that one?
No, seriously. Anybody comment? Who really wants to watch that?
Oh, I'm going to put it up. I'm going to put it up on my Facebook page here after the show.
As a poll question?
Yep.
Yeah, because I also, please let me know the results of that.
Yeah, I'm going to put that up, and I'm just going to see, although this is, so you got February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. It's quite a ways away. But
plenty of time to forget about it.
Yeah. So maybe I'll put it up tonight and then maybe in September. But I will tell you this. So a Saturday night, September 19th. And like I said, this is probably going to be around midnight, our time, maybe 11 o'clock.
Yeah, if it's in Vegas.
If it's in Vegas.
Yeah.
I will probably watch, but I ain't paying. So take that where you want. I'm not paying for it, but I'll probably watch it.
I don't know. I feel like there's really a cutoff point where it's like watching NASCAR versus snail races. Because no offense to these guys, they were great in their day, but they're past their prime.
Oh my God, they're so far past their. And
for
again,
boxing especially,
right?
Like you said,
right. And I guarantee you, Money May's broke. I guarantee he's got nothing. That's why he's fighting. That's why he's going to fight Tyson. Before that, these guys are unreal.
I wonder why Mike Tyson's doing it. I know he doesn't need the money.
Oh, he might.
You know what I mean?
He might.
He might, you think?
He might. Oh, yeah, he might.
Tragic.
He might. Doug says, Sam, ask me if I'm going to watch any of those fights. I'd rather watch two guys fish.
Probably be more exciting. Right? Have more action to it.
Oh, John says, yeah, I'll be watching. No. Now, I haven't been to the Sphere. I've seen a lot of videos.
Yeah, it seems like a really cool place to have anything but a boxing match.
What's what's the capacity in there? Do you know?
No, I have no idea. Hold on. I'll look that up.
Because I don't think I have seen like the inside of it. Because a lot of the videos I see on TikTok or whatever, it's just like the Sphere and it's got all these crazy lights and it's like in some rhythmic with music that's going on and it's a big thing. But I don't think that I have seen the inside of it.
Oh, you've never seen a video of like a show inside of it?
Not inside. I've just seen the outside.
It seems like it would be a really cool place to do something along the lines of like a, what do you call it? Where you could see space and stuff. You know what I'm talking about. Wow.
You mean like a rave?
An observatory.
Oh,
Jesus.
Observatory.
Yeah, it'd be it's like an observatory, but for anything. Let's see. It looks like it seats about 17,600 people.
Oh God. Well, that's perfect for a boxing match.
A total capacity about 20,000.
That's perfect for a boxing match. Because that's what like T-Mobile Arena. That's the capacity. I know they've had boxing matches there. They've had them at the MGM. That's perfect.
I cannot wait to find out what they're going to broadcast on the wall in there. Because otherwise it would just be a boxing match with no background in a big empty sphere.
Yeah, that's hell.
I'm so curious.
I'm getting more interested in this than I ever wanted to.
Put the boxing match on a roller coaster so the whole audience is on a roller coaster while they're fighting. That'll be really disorienting.
My son just texted. He says, the Sphere is really cool. We might be going to it in Vegas. Get with it. Okay.
It's a really, really cool waste of money.
Okay, first of all, young man, the fight is in September. So that doesn't do me any good in August.
Hall of Fame City checks in on YouTube. Says, as a boxing fan, I can enjoy a Mayweather fight, but if you're not a fan, he's the most boring fighter to watch. He's all defenses.
He is boring. He's a boring fighter. His strategy and everything it works, but it's very boring. His fights have always been boring, but he brings so much glitz and glamour and pizzazz and swag, and you know what I mean. It's look. I will say this. You can say what you want about boxing, and a lot of people do, including me. But there may not be a bigger like buzz before an event than a boxing match on the Strip in Vegas. Like the old heavyweight championship fights, there was nothing like it. Now, I've never been to one, but I know people that have. I know people that have sat ringside at Tyson fights, at Sugar Ray Leonard fights, some of the big boxing matches over the last 3-4 decades. They say the energy, the crowd, the excitement, the tension, there is nothing like it. Nothing like it. Excuse me. Like better than the Super Bowl. better than the Final Four, better than a World Series. They say the anticipation of a title fight in Vegas, there's nothing like it anywhere. And I mean, obviously, this is far from a title fight. Again, two guys that are almost 50. I mean, what are we doing here? But I'll tell you this. If somebody slipped me a couple of tickets and I had a room at an adjacent hotel, I'd be there.
Yeah, just to be in the dome.
I would go.
Yeah.
Just to get a feel for all this crazy stuff that goes on. I would go. I would go.
I think anybody would almost watch anything if it's free, you know?
But, I mean, Sam, your son giving you the business on the air. I love it. Yeah, wait till I get home. Yeah, you could probably wrangle me into going. But, again, I'd have to have, obviously, at least 2 complimentary tickets. At least.
All you really need is to see one video of anything happening inside that sphere, really. It's really cool in there.
Yeah, so what else do they do in there? Like, is it one of those places where they hold a bunch of events, like concerts and stuff like that?
It seems like it would be a really cool place for like a rock concert, because when the band would normally project stuff on the back wall of the stage, instead of projecting it on just the back wall of the stage, it's projected on the ceiling above you and the wall to your left and the wall to your right.
Oh, jeez.
All around you. It seems really cool to be inside of.
Now, I'd mentioned a couple of minutes ago that I hadn't seen anything inside. Now that I think about it, is Def Leppard out there, or have they been out there?
Probably.
I think I saw a video of them opening one of their shows at the Sphere, now that I think about it. But it was so dark. You know, there's just a bunch of, lights and everything's kind of, how it's supposed to be, with lights are flashing and stuff like that. I didn't really get to see what it looked like inside, but I'll have to go back and take a look at that. So if anybody wants to, foot the bill, I'll go out there. I'll go check that out. I'll report back.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that.
To the radio. Yeah, we'll do a little live remote. Maybe I'll do my show out there from the Sphere.
Yeah, I'm sure the internet in there's great.
Oh, my God. I wouldn't know how to act.
Mark Young on YouTube says The Wizard of Oz was played in the Sphere. It's on YouTube.
The Wizard of Oz?
Yeah.
Like they put the movie on inside?
Yeah, imagine being able to watch a movie in complete 360 around your head like you're inside of it.
So did they make it feel like there was a tornado going on?
I have no idea.
Blowing wind?
Mark,
I wouldn't doubt it.
I'm going to look that up because I'm very curious about how far they went with that, because that could have been really cool.
All right. I'm going to have to look that up. Looks like I'm going to be on TikTok all night.
It seems like the Sphere seems like a really, really cool giant eyesore that everybody who lives in Las Vegas hates, and it sucks a ton of energy out of the Hoover Dam. But other than that, really cool on the inside.
It's a tourist trap.
Puts on a great show.
It puts on a great show.
And it ruins the life of everybody living around it.
They don't care about the locals out there. All right, well, let's take a break. That's a lot to chew on here. 5:53 is our time. Phone lines open at 330-821-1310. You can drop your comments on all of our 1310 WDPN social media platforms, X, Twitter, Facebook, the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. We'll come back, we'll reset, and we'll start to put a bow on the Monday edition of the Sam Bourquin Show right here. Oh, it's snowing again, by the way, in the Alliance. 1310 WDPN.
I'm Angela Bassett. As a first responder on screen, I know what it means to act fast in an emergency. In real life, the same urgency can save lives, especially when it comes to a food allergy. For 33 million Americans, one bite can turn an ordinary meal into a life-threatening reaction. And too often, they don't have the one thing that could save them: epinephrine. But emergencies don't wait. And when a severe reaction happens, being prepared makes all the difference. Now, there's a needle-free option, a new way to carry epinephrine that makes it easier than ever to be ready. No needles, no hesitation, because when the unexpected happens, the best thing you can do is be ready. Know the risk, know the options. Be ready to act. Learn more at foodallergy.org/ready to act.
Imagine home. The smell of coffee, the sound of a lawnmower, the sun's warmth on your face. Free to be yourself, surrounded by love that helps you grow. This is a place to call home. That's an American dream we all deserve. But in 50% of U.S. states, you could legally be denied housing if you are LGBTQ+. Get the facts and hear real stories at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
I think we can all agree. Over the last few years, things have gotten weird.
Weird, confusing, and at times pretty scary.
And for our kids, these things can be overwhelmingly stressful.
And can increase the risk for mental health problems as they grow.
But there's so much hope.
Scientific research and real-life experience
tell us that the number one antidote to stress is authentic, trusted relationships.
So that's why I.
That's why we.
That's why I am committed to building and maintaining a trusted space.
For the students I influence every single day.
Until schools across the country
can proudly call ourselves a trusted space.
This is a trusted space.
This is a trusted space. This is a trusted space.
This is a trusted space.
This is a trusted space.
Access free films and resources to build trusted spaces in your schools and communities at atrustedspace.org.
1310 WDPN. We welcome you back. Got about 5 minutes left in the program. Don't forget, we'll be back tomorrow, 3 until 6, right here on 1310 WDPN. What's going on tomorrow? Cavs will be playing, let's see, Oklahoma City yesterday, off today. Oh, the Knicks. The Knicks come to town tomorrow night at at Rocket Arena. There are 2 OAC quarterfinal games tomorrow for men's basketball tomorrow night. Purple Raiders will play Thursday night at 7 against an opponent to be determined. Cavs got like 4 games this week. Hopefully Mount Union's got a couple. We got the high school tournament games are starting to crank up this week and this weekend, boys and girls. So a lot going on. I gotta start saving my money now for Mayweather and Pacquiao.
We got a quick text from Pete in Minerva over the text line. It says, Pete from Minerva here. Your ship has come in. If people are willing to pay to watch professional wrestling and a boxing match between 2 50-year-olds, it's a $400 million event. You and your buddies should scrape together your loose change and start a senior boxing league.
Okay.
Once established, you can include a walker league, obviously for those with walkers, then a wheelchair league. No need to thank me for the idea.
This must be the sentiment, Sam. I can see now, 10 years, Tyson having a fight, and both fighters will be using walkers. LOL.
Sam can attest to that. Pete from Minerva read my mind.
Yes.
We also just got a text from Sal. Says, head to Circa and watch the fight at Stadium Swim, poolside, lounge chairs, college football, and Mayweather versus Pacquiao. It's all there for you, Sam.
Yeah, it's all there for
me.
me.
All there waiting for you.
Who's footing the bill for this nonsense?
I know, right?
Come on.
People think boxing fights go on cheese.
I mean, I work in radio, for God's sake. Who's fitting the bill?
I think
Who's
there's
footing the bill for all this?
Huge misconception about how much money we actually make doing what we do every day.
Sal, are you in? Are you going to open up the bank of Sal? I'll go. First of all, if the fight's going to be, I'm thinking at least 11 o'clock here, maybe midnight. Is the pool still going to be open at Circa?
Well, that's what?
At 9, 10 o'clock at
9,
night.
10. Oh, I bet.
I would assume Vegas is probably open.
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right. Hey, I would do that too. I don't have to go to the Sphere. I'll go to the Circa. I'll do that. That sounds like a plan too. Wonder what tickets are going to go for that. And the reason I bring that up is, okay, so you're working with a capacity of between 17 and 18,000. So it's not like a dome where you can sell, 50, 60, 70, 80,000 seats, or like Jerry World in Dallas. So I mean, come on, though. We're talking about Mayweather and Pacquiao.
Right. I think the lack of interest will kind of make up for the lack of seating, so it should probably even out.
Well, that's the $1 million question.
Exactly.
And I'm glad you brought it. What is the interest level going to be in that fight in Vegas? What's it going to be like outside of Vegas? Are people going to, are they going to be interested? I don't know.
I didn't think anybody was going to watch the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight, but people watched that apparently. So.
Yeah. Now, was that pay-per-view, or was that Netflix, or do you remember where that were? Or was that like an ESPN Plus thing?
I know that was a Netflix thing. I don't know if you could go to that in person. I think so. Not sure about that, actually.
All right. Well, I'll keep kicking this around here and we'll see what the finances look like in September. Does Mount play a game out in Vegas in September? We'll make that a big package.
You need to call Mike Fueline and be like, hey, look.
Well, September, I'd be calling Coach Dart.
That's a good point.
What if Coach Dart, he'd probably go watch Pacquiao and Mayweather. That might be fun. Let's go. Come on, let's go. Raider Nation. Out to the sphere we go. All right, that's going to wrap it up. Probably a good thing that we're out of time. Going off the rails. Great job by Rainsburg. As always, thanks to all of you for listening and commenting and participating today. You know we love that. And we'll do it all over again tomorrow at 3 right here on AM 1310 WDPN. A lot of stuff I didn't get to today. We'll kind of roll that over to tomorrow. Don't forget, in the meantime, go Bucks, go Bear, go Browns, go Guards, go Bucks. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.